Hey everyone, welcome to the EXTV live watch along for Norway versus England. And of course, we're bringing two games today. I hope you guys are hearing us okay in the chat. I was just doing the Argentina versus Switzerland preview with Gaston Hoffman from SofaScore. So as soon as this is done, you can head over to that. So folks in the chat, let me know if you're okay. We're already 10 minutes into the first half. And of course, a lot of people are looking at Haaland to kind of upset the Three Lions. So let me know, who do you think is going to go home? Is it going to be the Three Lions or is it going to be Norway and his men? So a lot of people are excited about this match. England and my EXTV media preview are the favorites, the slight favorites to go through. But I'm pretty sure Norway is going to have something to say about that. So folks, let me know if you're hearing me okay in the chat. And I'm just paying attention. You know, every time I do this, there's always some issues. So I did start a couple of minutes late, folks, because we're doing the Argentina-Switzerland preview. But can Norway pull off the quote-unquote upset? We did have our preview, our match along. Our match preview on extvmedia.com. Like I said today, folks, I'm trying to juggle three things: two matches and the match preview. So that'll be going up on the YouTube channel soon. So at the end of this, you could take that on. So Norway taking on England, folks. And we're approaching the 11th minute. People inside here, I know there's a lot of England fans. There's a lot of Norway fans. There's a lot of people who have fallen in love with Haaland in this tournament. For people who watch football, you would not be surprised by his performance. He was not here for the last World Cup, but now he's in here. And now they are in a quarterfinal match. And England got past Mexico in the last game. You all heard my thoughts about that. So people in here, let me know where you're from. Like I said, we did start a little bit late, so we're live on Facebook, Twitch, and on YouTube. And of course, the Argentina game will kick off at 9 p.m. tonight, Trinidad and Tobago time. But in between that, we'll be having our Argentina versus Switzerland match preview from the kind folks of SofaScore. So with that being said, folks, we're just going to get things going. 11 minutes. England not applying too much pressure. And I will pull up the formations from SofaScore. So everybody's in here. Let me know where you are, where you're watching, and what are your thoughts on the game so far. So England, folks, a lot of people, you know, the neutrals, are supporting Haaland. Of course, the English fans will support England. We have English fans all over the world. We had Terry Fennick on the show a couple of weeks ago, former 1986 winner. So I'm seeing Inoke dos Santos Bender has followed us on Facebook. And, you know, we're live now, folks. We're live. So drop your predictions. Who do you think is going to go through? It was predicted by extvmedia.com with some SofaScore data that England are going to go through. And I'm going to pull up some of the formations. And if you all want, I could also put up a play-by-play on the screen. I could do that if you all want. And because I know some of you all like that. So let me just pull up the formations here really quickly. Norway playing a 4-3-3 formations, of course, with the big man up top, Haaland, and you have Odegaard in the midfield with the three across. And England playing a 4-2-3-1 with Harry Kane up front, Gordon, Bellingham, and let's see, Anderson and Rice in midfield, and the back four of O'Reilly, Gay, Stones, and Konsa with Pickford. So I know there's some injuries as well. So if you all want, I will probably pull up the SofaScore play-by-play when the next hydration break comes along. So if you're just joining us, folks, we usually start a couple of minutes before. It's very difficult to put these together, and I don't get any help. So, yeah. For the people listening to this, you know who you are. So we're continuing, and we have the wonderful data from the kind folks of SofaScore. And I would like to say that this tournament has flown by, folks. It's completely flown by. I'm not in my usual football attire, but for the Argentina game, I'll put my gear on. So who do you think is going to win, folks? Who do you think is going to win? And everybody in the chat, let me know if you're hearing me okay. And I did start a little bit late. So Kingsley, are you hearing me okay? And everybody in the chat, it does take a lot of work to put this together. So I really appreciate the shares and likes. England spreading the play. I've not seen anything yet. I know Kingsley gave his predictions as well about who is going to win and so on. And, you know, we'll see how it goes. And like I said, folks, I want to let you all know in advance, I am feeling a little bit under the weather. I was feeling terrible last night. And, you know, doing this for you all is what kind of keeps me going. Doing these two games, preparing, making sure everything is okay, doing the match previews. It takes a lot of work, folks. So if my energy levels waver, you know, forgive me. So England probing. we've not seen, let's be very honest, folks, we've not seen an England that has really dominated any team for this entire World Cup. And I'm going to say something objectively here, folks. Even though it was an amazing result against Mexico in the Azteca, where the altitude and everything was not in their favor, I think, respectfully, Mexico, under normal circumstances right now, have not been that great. They haven't been great in our CONCACAF region. In a lot of ways, I think right now, they are toe-to-toe with the U.S., maybe in some cases a little bit below them at times. And Javier Aguirre came in and, I think they punched above their weight. They did really well to get where they did. But I think England should have beaten that team anyway. But Gordon, the Barcelona man, taking on his players. And we're starting to see glimpses of what Gordon is capable of in this tournament. He has been involved in some of the goals and very effective on the wings. Clearly, Tuchel trusts him. Barcelona trusts him. So England with their corner here, folks. I heard some people in some of the other comment sections wishing Maguire was here. So is it coming home? David Beckham is there. Folks, we had a former England international here for the first game of the tournament. Terry Fennick, who played in 1986. He was here. And, it was such an honor to have an ex-England international who played against Maradona, Tottenham here, enjoying that experience with him. So Terry, wherever you are, I'm sure he's glued to the screen. So the first corner for England. Whipped in, near post, not very well delivered. And, I think Norway, Anderson allowing the ball to go out for a throw-in. So Norway conserving their energy. And we know Norway, two styles, folks. Norway are not the kind of team that are going to dominate you with possession. They are not going to be passing around and doing tiki-taka. They will choose their moments. They're very disciplined. We saw in their last game against Brazil how lethal they were, and that's how Haaland is. I remember a quote somewhere years ago where Erling Haaland said, he's not that type of player to dribble past players, but if you give him two chances, he'll score two. And, what I like is that he's a different style of player. There's no one way to play this game. He will pace himself. He is a very intelligent runner. He knows how to get into positions. He's very physical. And, we saw those two amazing goals. For those of you who follow Haaland will know. So Haaland instructing his players, you could see that they're kind of pacing themselves. There was an opportunity when England cleared Denmark cleared the ball. They could have run for the ball, and he is gesturing to them no. So you could see when they're not in possession, England have 65% possession. Norway 32. I hope I didn't say Denmark before. They are keeping that shape. And I think aerially, Norway are very strong at the back. I did say I gave England a bit of the favorites here, so I did have a poll in there, folks. So people, if you're supporting the Three Lions, drop your predictions in both Facebook, YouTube, and so on chat, because we'll be doing giveaways, folks. You qualify for a chance for the EXTV giveaways. Jersey, football jersey, club or country, and a copy of EAFC 27 when it comes out. So England on top of the box. As expected, Norway are keeping their shape. Excuse me, folks. I felt like something went into my throat. And England not getting that penetration, but this is kind of how England plays as well. They haven't been like super high speed and nitro charge like what you see in the Premiership unless they have to. They do have a gear that they can switch into. We were speaking highly about Haaland, but you have Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane, who have been amazing for England in this tournament. The team has not been playing well, let's be honest, but these guys came up trumps. Harry Kane missing that penalty in the first game had it retaken. And I'll be honest, I think Harry Kane, ever since that, his confidence has gone really high. I think if they didn't retake that, maybe would have dented his performance. And Bellingham, just like he did for the Euros, comes up big. Those two goals against Mexico were massive. And England probing down the left side of the Danish defense. Folks, something definitely flew into my throat. So England with a bit of a free header there, folks, but not Bellingham. Once again, he has that presence in the box, folks. He is very physical. He knows how to get in front of his players. And, yeah. So, Kingley is saying Norway 3, Switzerland, Argentina. So, let's see, folks. So, I'm just kind of riling up the people in the Facebook chat here to let them know what's going on. Oops. I just turned the audio on, my mistake. And you all will be checking out the Argentina preview with the kind folks of SofaScore. Gaston Hoffman will be in there. That's why I was a couple minutes late. It rolled over a couple minutes. And it will be posted very soon. So you can check that out in between this game and the other game. So let's see who will be facing who in this side of the bracket. So like I said, folks, I'm just, if you see me multitasking, it's because I am engaging with some of the chat here. And I'm just making sure everything's okay in here. And I'm going to get everybody involved in the England watch along here. So I'm seeing I'm just messaging some people here just to get them in. People asking for the stream here, folks. So just closing this back down. I hope I think I made a mistake. I think I didn't post it. I deleted it too quickly. So I'm seeing some comments flying in. I'm trying to get to everything. So yeah, so on YouTube, Kingley is saying Norway 3, England 2, Switzerland 1, Argentina 0. I know Kingley hates Argentina. I don't hate anybody, folks. I don't hate anybody at all. That's my team. But, everybody has their team. So it's the 20th minute. We'll probably approach a hydration break soon. I will bring up the play-by-play on the screen if you guys want that. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up in the chat. I know a lot of people are looking at this stream on YouTube, Twitch, and so on. I did start a couple minutes late, which probably cost me some viewers. But I hope you guys continue to support me, and I will be doing the Argentina game. And also, we'll be having the Argentina-Switzerland preview. So when not in possession, you're seeing a 4-5-1 formation for Norway. Haaland sitting on the top there. Norway clearly with a tactic, as you could see. If you look on the screen, it's brilliant if you're somebody who are into tactics. Haaland waiting up front. And they're clearly, that's the tactic. And so far, folks, defensive tactics have not really worked out for anybody in this tournament. England have the players to break this team down. England being patient. And you could see the influence of Tuchel as well. Probing. Passing the ball along, trying to destabilize the Norwegian defense. For a couple times, I think I said Denmark by mistake, folks. I don't know why. Maybe I'm fatigued. And like I said, forgive me in advance. I am very tired. I was not feeling well. Something's definitely stuck in my throat, folks. So whipped in. And almost falling dangerously on the right side for England. So I thought we didn't see Saka starting. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, folks, something flew into my mouth. So England, folks, 22 minutes in. This tournament has been a real sprint for me, folks. A real sprint. So England trying to find their way. No team is really panicking here, folks. England showing some calm as they should. It's 0-0. Trying to break down or find gaps in this Norwegian defensive shape. Trying to do those 1-2s. But they are looking very defensively organized. Trying to go down the wings, creating that 1-2, doing it really well, crossing it to the other side. And to be honest, dissecting the Danish defense really well. And the ball falling dangerously could have fallen to both Harry Kane and O'Reilly. So even though Norway has set up in a very defensive posture, you could see England almost broke them down there. The referee looks completely distressed. I don't know why. What's happening? So the ball is whipped in, and it fell dangerously to O'Reilly. And that could have been very dangerous, folks. And it just goes to show, like what we've seen in this tournament, we haven't seen defensive teams really work really well. So the hydration break is here, folks. So I'm going to put up the... I know a lot of you all like the play-by-play, so I'm going to put that up for you all. I know a lot of you all like it, so I'm going to do this for my people. So let's put it on. Let's put it on, folks. So I'm seeing the comments coming in as well. Let's take a look. Let's take a look, people on Facebook as well. Hydration break, yes, yes. So Kingley, everybody else, do you all like the play-by-play that I'm going to put on the screen now? So I'm going to fix it really quickly. So when the play-by-play, folks, let me know what you think. What do you think about the game so far? Do you think England are doing enough to break through? Do you think this defensive setup by Norway is enough? Let me know what you think, folks. It's going to be very interesting to see how that goes. So right now I'm setting up the play-by-play for you guys to make sure you guys get the best quality stuff. So I'm going to pause for a second. But let me know your predictions, folks. Like and subscribe, share. Drop those predictions. And I will be setting up my TikTok at halftime. I'm trying to do a lot, folks. A lot. And it's very exhausting. Okay, so I'm going to put it up really quickly. So keep the comments going. I'm seeing... Oh, you don't have a problem? Cool. And share with your friends, people. So I'm going to fix this up and let me know what you think. So this play-by-play I'm putting up is from the kind folks at SofaScore. Some people are saying I can leave the momentum map up if you guys want that. I can. So I can do that as well if you all want. And then I will shift my alert so you guys can see who's subscribing as well. So let me fix that as well. I'm so hungry, folks. You wouldn't believe. I am super hungry. So I'm going to probably put that down here. Let's put that down here. That's a good thing about these lives, folks. We could have a lot of fun on screen. So I'm going to put it on the screen now, folks. So everybody, let me know what you think. It's popping up now. What do you think about that, folks? It's going to be a play-by-play. And you can let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about that. And it gives you the play-by-play as well from the kind folks of SofaScore and everybody in here. And I will have the momentum maps as well. So the hydration break is about to end. I'm going to grab a water as well because something is in my throat, folks. Something is in my throat. So like I said, folks, on the YouTube, in the Twitch, and on Facebook, be sure to drop your comments as well. Share with your friends. Who is going to go? Are the Three Lions? Is it coming home? It's coming home. They have a long way to go, folks. We'll have to see who they face in the other game. And everybody else, are Norway going to surprise them? So I'm seeing a thumbs up from Kingley and everybody else. So I'm going to grab a bottle of water really quickly. Okay, folks, I'm back. I was choking on something, but I'm back. So Ronald Samuel, welcome. Welcome. I was taking my hydration break, but the game is back. And he's supporting Norway. So let's see, folks. People will give the right predictions and so on. I have to hydrate all the time, folks. My throat. So a lot of people are saying, they want Norway to win. There's a lot of people who like Haaland. So we'll see. So drop your predictions in the chat below. There is a foul on Bellingham. They are protesting that it's not. This is a dangerous area to have a free kick, folks. So, let me know what you're thinking. So I'm going to bring up the play-by-play, folks. So let's see. Let's put that up here. And you can let me know. So Bellingham running into his man. So let's see, folks. This is a dangerous area for a free kick. 27 minutes in. My energy levels are a little bit low because I was feeling a little bit under the weather, folks. We're doing 2 games today. And I'm probably going to give myself a little bit of a rest tomorrow. If you're just joining in, we're 27 minutes in. Norway, 0. England, 0. A free kick on top of the box. We're seeing Harry Kane, who's capable. I think, who else? The camera isn't. Let it zoom out a little bit so we can see. So, Harry Kane. I think from this position, it'll be better suited to Harry Kane, but you don't know. So, it's a dangerous spot, folks. And England are very good on set pieces. Even sometimes when the other areas are deficient, they sometimes come through in that area. Very organized team. So let's see, folks. Let's see. And I think sometimes my Rush Sports TV's feed is like 60 seconds behind. So some of you all probably already saw it in the future. So over the bar by Harry Kane, folks. Over the bar. And Harry Kane is confident, folks. Harry Kane from the last World Cup. We know what happened in the last World Cup. I really think when he got to retake that penalty in the first game, it really boosted his confidence. But I want to say this, folks, respectfully. The Mexico game, while it was an amazing result, and I take nothing away from them and the performance of the players, they had the altitude and so on, a lot of things against them. That Mexico team hasn't been very strong in the CONCACAF region for some time now. So Norway on the attack. So England going to have to be careful. Norway is a different challenge. And I don't think this England team has really been tested with a team of high quality. I think this is kind of their first. And I say this respectfully. I'm not saying the Mexico game was not a test. But, a team, of a France or a Spain or Argentina, even Portugal, who are all, Portugal is gone. So Norway, keeping some possession. Like I said, they're not the kind of team that are going to do quick 1-2s and tiki-taka. They're going to pace themselves. They're willing to concede possession. As you can see in the momentum maps there, Norway on top. You can barely see anything, but in the England maps, you see a lot of blue. That's how much England have been dominating. But sometimes domination does not necessarily mean good football. So England taking the initiative as expected, Tuchel and his men. And you could see Norway are trying to draw the English players in. Very clever, dangerous, but clever tactic, where they literally stop the play, draw the players in, and do a very quick 1-2. So Odegaard, a player years ago, was touted to be the next Messi, signed by Real Madrid very early in his career. But now he plays at Arsenal. So Norway pragmatically playing their way in. Trying a little bit of a flick there. I think it was Berg, I can't tell. So whipped in. Interesting ball in. But picked up very cleanly by Pickford. So we're seeing the chant, folks. Norway, folks. I'm exercising my abs while supporting Norway. I'm a neutral in this, folks. Of course, I'm an Argentina fan. So when an Argentina game is going on, I'm going to support Argentina. This is a watch along. Not this boring commentary that you all are going to look at, but EXTV. So like I said, folks, I was feeling a little bit down. Gordon with some skill there. Doing enough to force a throw in. Harry Kane getting in a box. You could see Harry Kane is fired up. And, you know, him along with Bellingham, they have been magnificent for England, folks. Drawing a foul. And you will expect this if you're playing this kind of football. England got a free kick here in the 32nd minute. And, you know, you don't want to give England too much set pieces because they're a team that, even when they weren't playing their best, they did pride themselves on their set plays. And by the way, chat, are you guys hearing me okay? Let me know, because, these things are unpredictable like that. It seems like every time I have an England game or Argentina game, I have problems. The last game, there was a storm and the internet went down. This time, there were some delays. So, Declan Rice, number 4 for England. He's going to whip it into the box. England have excellent headers of the ball. Haaland marking Jude Bellingham. Both of them having friendly banter, as expected. And they're whipping it in. Not a very good delivery from Declan Rice. Well read by Norway. But still, England, as expected, are trying to dictate the play, trying to take initiative. And Norway will sit back and not chase unnecessarily if they have to. And this is where it's tricky. Because the longer the game goes along like this, it's going to play into a team like Norway's favor. Because eventually they're going to attack. And whoever, as cliche as it sounds, folks, whoever scores first, it completely changes that dynamic. My God, what is going on with me? The fatigue is getting to me. Folks, the fatigue is getting to me, folks. I think ideally Norway will try a similar tactic that they did with Brazil. I think in terms of outright pace and dribbling, they had a bit more problems with Vinicius. But this England team is, I think a better balanced team overall from the midfield to the defense. So they'll be challenged in different areas. But this could be a giveaway. Oh my goodness. Haaland almost nonchalantly just walked to the ball. I figured if it's almost like he was surprised. England with a little bit of a giveaway there. Potentially, possibly leading to a chance. And Haaland, probably almost shocked, did not react at all. I know other players would have thrown their foot in there and possibly get a foul. So Norway showing that, England a little bit of nerves there. And the selective pressure from Norway, folks. If you're just joining us, a little bit of a lapse from England there. But Norway, very pragmatic, choosing their moments and not being particularly spectacular, but reasonably effective. And it's a clash of styles. I know a lot of people like to see attacking football, but this is a part of the game where it's very cagey, folks. Very cagey. One mistake and it could completely change the dynamic of the game. And I'm going to read a couple of the comments there when I get a chance. Sorry, folks. I apologize if you all heard that on the mic. I am not at 100%, folks. We're doing 2 games today plus a match preview after this. So when you're done, folks, we'll be having a match preview, totally data-driven, no emotion there from SofaScore. So you could head over to that when it's done. Lots of entertainment. And at halftime, we'll be playing the Nigel Rojas and Sunday Syndicate song Champion. So 34 minutes in. If you're England and Norway, you're probably sitting at the edge of your seats. And you may have thought Norway would have snapped something a while ago. A bit of a mix-up in the end by England and Haaland. Looking like he was shocked to even see that ball there. It's almost like he didn't expect that mistake. And I think if he was sharper, it could have been 1-0 to Norway. Into the box. Haaland. Straight at Pickford, folks. That's the guy you want to get the ball to, folks. Erling Haaland. And that's what I say, folks. They choose their moments. They choose their moments. So Harry Kane's trying to start a counter-attack, looking for a foul. The ref says play on. So Norway with a brief moment of dominance here. Going in. It's a goal! No way, folks. No way. What a master strike by Norway, folks. Wow. Harry Kane is calling for a foul. You don't know if to celebrate, but oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, folks. Are Norway going to get this goal? If you're a Norwegian fan, you're going to be pissed off. But what an amazing goal, folks. What a start for Norway. My goodness. My goodness. My goodness. So let me read some of the comments really quickly. Ronald Samuel, Norway. Ronald, bring two water. Ronald, is that you with the coconut water? Bring me some, please. I would love that. I would love that. Maybe some food as well, because I'm really hungry. Kingley, Haaland might score a hat-trick. So Candice, England... 2 England, 0. Argentina, 3 Switzerland, 0. Kingley, Norway, 1-0. So yes, folks, what an amazing goal. Wow. Wow, folks. Even I didn't think that was going in. I think, was it a cross? Or was it just, a cross that went bad? Or was it a shot? Chat, do you think that was a bad cross? So Schneiderup, Andreas scoring a goal in the 36th minute. Wow. Now, folks, England have been known to concede goals and then they usually come back. So, but what a start for Norway. One of the few moments. And we did see signs. Is the ref looking at something? That would be very harsh. Harry Kane is claiming that he was fouled, but I think they're just playing on, folks. So, folks, Norway 1, England 0. My goodness. And, Haaland getting a chance earlier, but well saved by Pickford. England also with a little bit of a mix-up at the back. So now this changes the dynamic, folks. England are going to respond. They're going to try to attack. So this is a real test of Norway's defense. And immediately almost getting a half chance back. Harry Kane completing for a foul on Bellingham. And this is where Bellingham and Harry Kane are going to have to keep their cool. And this is where Norway are going to get their shape tested, because I'm sure England are going to try to attack. And... England got away with one there. Riley and I couldn't see the guy with a 50-50 tackle there. Oh, Soloth, the Atletico Madrid man. He's saying it's not a foul, so let's take a look at the replay. Folks, he has a case. Riley just kind of jumped into the air and fell over on his own. So I think, Odegaard is having a word with the ref there, folks. So look at the momentum on the screen, folks, just under the play-by-play. You could see it's all England and then those little spikes. Norway scored. Exactly as I said. Norway has that ability to get that. But, folks, we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go. England are a team. They have the squad capable of pulling things back. Norway are going to want to try to control this game and deal with the inevitable response from England. And also, just if you're catching up, a couple moments before the goal, Haaland had a chance that was saved by Pickford, headed straight at Pickford. And then also England had a mix-up at the back. And almost led to the opening goal. So England, as expected, will do a response. They will do a response. Folks, like I said, I am feeling a little bit under the weather. I'm not sick, but it's exhaustion. I did some cleaning of the studio. We've been doing major electrical work in the EXTV studios. And I may have breathed in some dust I shouldn't have. So I wasn't feeling great. I'm feeling a little bit better now. I drank some ginger. Could use some coconut water right now, which is my favorite. I love coconut water. I encourage healthy. Haaland in the box here. Shot on goal. Was not Haaland, but Soloth. Now, Norway are going to have to take their chances, folks. Soloth in the box here. Getting the physical advantage over Riley. But I'm not a big fan of Soloth. But Norway are going to get few of these chances and they're going to have to take them, folks. They're going to have to take it. England looking a little bit rattled. And Norway, Soloth out wide here. The Atletico Madrid man. This could be something here as well. And Pickford, not with a convincing save. He does tend to not hold the ball, but it's more down to those shots. So Odegaard taking a shot there. Norway in the last couple minutes creating several chances. And folks, they're going to have to take it because in games at this level, if you don't take your chances against a team like England, England can come back and hurt you, folks. They have the squad. They have the players. You know, if you're Tuchel and if you're England, you can be calm because you know you have the squad that are capable of creating something. Don't panic. Don't concede a second goal. And let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. So Haaland, listen, Norway. Kudos to Norway, man. Kudos to Norway. Just 4 years ago, people were talking about, you know, we may probably never see somebody like Haaland at the World Cup because Norway is not a very strong team. But it just shows you, folks, with the expanded World Cup, and they played really well in the qualifiers. It's not like they just scraped in. So they have the players to complement. You have Odegaard, you have Soloth, you have Haaland, a lot of great names in there. And they are capable, folks. Can they run toe-to-toe with England? No, but you don't have to. That's why you have tactics. A lot of people are criticizing Paraguay. That's why you have different tactics in the game, folks. So you can adjust to the players you have. So Haaland pressuring up front, forcing a throw-in. So they're choosing their moments, folks, forcing Stones into an error to get a throw-in. Haaland is in the zone. Amazing player, well loved by a lot of people. And Norway pacing themselves as expected. The fans are happy. Of course, my Rush Sports television feed seems to be 60 seconds behind a lot of people. And wow, what a game we have here, folks. What a game we have. How will England respond? They are capable of responding. And Norway, I think, with a little bit of a strategic foul. And it's a free kick. And if you're Norway, you're going to want to do this. You're going to want to have those break up the English play. So like I said, folks, if you're going to join us after this, the Argentina-Switzerland match preview brought to you by myself and SofaScore will come up. That'll be coming up very soon. So look out for that one, folks. And it may actually pop up before, but of course I know a lot of you all will be glued to the screen. So we will have a halftime break with the song from Nigel Rojas and Sun Syndicate called Promises. And we'll have a brief discussion. I need to catch my breath. I need to pace myself. So England, folks, how do they respond? How do they respond? And let me know what you all think about the play-by-play brought to you by SofaScore as well. We have a wonderful partnership with them. We have our match preview at extvmedia.com. You can check it out. And our viewership has been amazing, folks, on Facebook. Each one easily average 10K per stream. And of course, we're trying to get all our followers up to 10,000 as much as possible. It really helps the channel. So England, once again, probing. Norway with that shape. It can be 4-5-1 or 5 at the back. Sometimes a wide player drifts out into that position. Haaland, and they're not overly exerting themselves. They are allowing England to come into that area. So England are going to have to try to be dynamic and almost pickpocketing England there. And I think that's what Norway are playing for. So the game has swung in Norway's favor in terms of the dynamic because England are now going to have to try to get that equalizer. And it creates gaps. But Norway trying to release his play out wide. Excellent ball. A player is free out wide. 2 versus 1 situation here, folks. And I think with a bit more confidence, he could have passed the ball to Haaland. What a wasted opportunity there, folks. What a wasted opportunity. Soloth doing what he does for Atletico Madrid. There was a 2 versus 1 situation. He could have passed. He could have shot. He did neither. Will Norway live to regret this? This is what Soloth does at Atletico Madrid, folks. If you look at Atletico Madrid throughout the season, he's very frustrating like that. He does that. I think it's almost like he was surprised and a lack of confidence. He could have passed. He could have shot. He did neither. And then kudos to, I think it was Stones, doing well to kind of put that doubt in him. So now England, if England go on to score now, he's going to regret it. And a corner for England now, folks. A corner for England. We're approaching the 45th minute. And like I said, folks, before we head to the 45th minute, we've seen Mick Jagger. Wow. Rolling Stones man in the crowd. If longevity was a person. So Soloth, folks, I think Soloth is one of those players that's very frustrating. But England are very dangerous on set pieces. And if you're a Norwegian fan, you want this clock to just go away really quickly. because you know England, even if they're not playing particularly well, they do have those individual players that can get something. So they have Bellingham in the box. You have Harry Kane in the box. I think Stones is in there as expected, maybe. And then you have, well, obviously Declan Rice taking the delivery. Not a very good delivery. Actually, it was a good delivery, but being well marked. The Norwegian players are calling for offside, but nothing. So England, they did eventually get that call. So the Norwegian players are on their toes, folks. They are seeing something. And I am going to go back to that Soloth opportunity a moment ago, but let's take a look at the replay. So I'm not sure. Oh, there's a foul in the box. I think. So Norway getting several very open opportunities. A 2-versus-1 situation that I'm very annoyed with Soloth. If you're a Norwegian fan, you have to be completely upset because it should have at least been a shot on goal. And against a team like England, they're going to go into halftime, they'll regroup, and they're going to make no mistake, folks. Tuchel and his men are going to come out second half driven. And are they going to regret those chances? So Gordon here on the attack. Norway dropping back, trying to keep their shape. And unfortunately, just too much steam on the end of it. Gordon not being able to control. And Odegaard clapping his players for the defensive work. And we have 4 minutes of extra time, folks. Let's read some comments really quickly. Wow, the comments are flying. Get more, come on, England. Prudence, Baha, you explain the game so well. Great commentary. I really appreciate that, Prudence. Thank you so much. And be sure to subscribe as well. And get more. Hit that like. Thank you, folks. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. So can England equalize? And they did. England equalizes, folks. Bellingham once again. Once again, Jude Bellingham. What did I say, folks? What did I say? You have players like Jude Bellingham. Honestly, what would England do without Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane? What would they do without Jude Bellingham? They will not play particularly well. And Haaland and his boys throwing away a couple chances. And close to the end of halftime, Bellingham equalizes. If you are a Norwegian fan, you will be very annoyed. If you're England, this is pretty much what Bellingham does. I've been saying it throughout the stream, folks. Jude Bellingham getting that equalizer. So a pretty straightforward pass to Gordon, who has been going down that left side for England, getting a ball to Jude Bellingham, who is capable, and he had 2 players on him, scoring from a very difficult angle. So absolute euphoria for England for getting back in the game. And I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. This is what they do, folks. This is what they do. So it's now 1-1, folks. Absolutely annoyed if you're a Norwegian fan. The coach is, I know exactly how he's feeling because they created chances. Norway throwing a bottle on the floor. I think folks, Soloth and a couple of those guys are going to have to take a lot of blame there. They had a 2-versus-1 situation. They had England rattling. Now England could just see things out, get into halftime, have a couple drinks. Tuchel could calm the players down and say, hey guys, listen, just keep doing what you're doing and get back. And this is what Bellingham does, folks. He's making a very marauding run into the Norwegian half. England want a second goal. Harry Kane, their confidence is high. Bellingham was running in for that free kick. So if you're Norway, folks, you're going to be very upset. If you're England, you're going to be very euphoric. Jude Bellingham, 5 goals in 6 World Cup appearances, folks. What a player he has been. I'm going to ask a legitimate question to everybody in the chat right now. And like I said, folks, if you're following and new, be sure to like, subscribe, and so on. Do you think England would have gotten this far without Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham? Be honest. This is not me disrespecting. I want your honest opinion. So Norway, folks, allowing England back into the game. And I'm not surprised. Once again, Gordon going down. Sorry, I think it's... Yeah, it is Gordon. So Norway now on the back foot. A little bit rattled by that goal. England's confidence. They have the wind in their sails, as we like to say. And, you know, Norway is going to be an absolute disaster if they concede a goal at this point. And could it be? No way, folks. It's offside. It's offside. So Norway looking absolutely rattled by this goal and dodging a bullet. Harry Kane getting the ball in the back of the net, but it is offside. Is it offside? Oh, yeah, it is offside. Very narrowly, but it is offside. Wow, folks. Norway have allowed this game to slip away from them. They just had to hold off for a couple minutes. But kudos to England. They have the quality players. Once again, what did I say? Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham are the difference makers for this team. So it's halftime now, folks. Oh, no, it's a corner. Sorry. My bad. Oh, it's halftime. So Jude Bellingham running into the changing room. So let me stop the clock here, folks. Let me stop that clock. I'm controlling everything from my studio here. And it is now 1-1. Andreas for Norway, England. Norway creating the better chances, folks. Let's be very fair. Let's be very fair. Norway creating the better chances. But England doing what they've done for the entire tournament. Getting that goal from either Harry Kane or Jude Bellingham. And Norway are going to be annoyed. They created several chances. There was one giveaway from England which they did not capitalize on. I could probably forgive that one because it was a surprise. Getting the goal, then getting that 2 versus 1 situation with Soloth, who could have been at least created a shot on goal and decided to just slow the play down, which I think was ridiculous. And I did say, folks, you could track back in the stream. I did say that they will pay if they don't take those chances. So England, before the game took place, I did do my match preview. With SofaScore on EXTVmedia.com. You can check that out. England are, in terms of the squad, the favorites. But we have a game, folks. It's 1-1. How is this going to go? How is this going to go, folks? So I'm going to read some of the comments here at halftime. So, Candice Hiralal, Blastic Bellingham. Halftime, Norway 1. No. Yeah, this guy, man. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to put a question out for you guys. I'm going to close down the graphic for a second. I'm going to close it down. The play-by-play. I'm going to have a couple seconds. I will have the halftime break and the song played by Nigel Rojas. But folks, what do you think about that? What do you think about this game? Honestly, I'm asking the question to everybody in the chat. Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. What do you think this England team would be without Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane in this team? These guys have been phenomenal. You take those 2 guys out of the team, just like in the Euros, Bellingham dragged this team to the finals, folks. So maybe Tuchel's psychological tactics are working, but what a player he is for England. And truth be told, I think if Norway took their chances, I think England would have been a bit more rattled. But I specifically said if you don't take your chances against a team like England, England are going to get a half chance or a 1 chance from Tuchel or Harry Kane. They've done it throughout the tournament. They did it in their last Euros. And they can do it again. And they've done it. Jude Bellingham, the Real Madrid man, is definitely England's star player. Because truthfully, folks, I think the team has been okay. And, I'm not insulting England. Make no mistake, that's not what I'm saying. But I really think this team, if you take Kane and Bellingham out, it's a different story. Because these are the 2 guys that are showing the dynamism and range that you need to get these goals. And they're both winners. And I think Harry Kane going to Bayern Munich, getting that penalty retaken in the first game, I think really did wonders for his confidence. I think if he didn't score that goal, maybe his confidence would be a little bit low. And let's talk about the tactics for Norway. Norway were doing exceptionally well. 2 different styles of play and keeping the ball, choosing their moments, creating chances. They had England nervous and then the concede there has to be crazy. So I think I saw the coach absolutely furious, throwing his water bottle, and I'm going to hydrate, folks. I'm going to hydrate. So like I said, folks, stay here. Let me know your thoughts. Everybody in the chats, drop your comments and predictions and your suggestions, because when you do that, you automatically qualify for a chance to win a jersey, a football jersey, home or away, club or country, and also a copy of EAFC 27 when it comes out. So when you like, subscribe, follow, comment, give predictions, scan that QR code you see on the screen, you will automatically qualify. So I am doing a marathon session today, folks. I am trying my best to do both games. I was feeling a bit under the weather earlier today, folks. I did a match preview, which will be popping up on the YouTube channel very soon, for the Argentina-Sweden game. Courtesy the kind folks of SofaScore, myself and Gaston Hoffman. Data-driven, not emotion. So you can check that out. So you can let me know what you think, folks. So I'm seeing a lot of the comments. I think we got some spam in Twitch, but we'll just ignore that. So everybody in here right now, I will do a TikTok live in a little while. And like I said, everybody in the chat right now, I want you all to take a moment, like, subscribe, share, and let me know your thoughts. I am pacing myself. I will step away for a moment to get some refreshments, and I will leave you all with the beautiful song from Nigel Rojas and Sun Syndicate called Champion, so you can take a listen to that. And then I'll come back and we'll have some discussions, and we'll get back right into the game, folks. So before we go, folks, give me a thumbs up. What do you all think about the game? What do you all think about the predictions? Share with your friends. Prudence, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And, with that being said, folks, we're going to take our first break. We had a lot of massive viewership on the live streams, folks. And, easily 10K on the Facebook lives. The YouTube lives have been doing great. Of course, we'd like to do it a lot more. And for the Argentina game, we'll be coming on maybe about 15 minutes before, so we could get that conversation in, and I could change it to my Argentina game, which is going to be another difficult game, folks. So as it stands, it's 1-1. England with a late goal in the second half from Jude Bellingham, tying things up. Norway creating 3 chances and probably think they should have been at least 2-1 or 3-1 up right now. They're going to be very annoyed, and I think Tuchel and his men scoring at the right time, and they're going to go into halftime. What do you think Tuchel is going to say? I think England, that goal may have revitalized them, and there's no reason not to see England not winning this game, folks. That's what I think. But, Norwegian fans, I know there's a lot of Haaland fans, not Holland. A lot of people have been asking me for merch and jerseys. He's a great player, magnificent player, but is it enough to get the goal? And interestingly enough, the goal did not come from him. So Norway getting a free header from Haaland, which he didn't take, credit to Pickford, then giving away the ball a little while afterwards, then getting the goal, and then also Norway getting that 2-versus-1 situation. There hasn't been too much clear-cut opportunities for England, but showing you how dangerous Bellingham is. What a box-to-box player. This guy, England, you guys should build a statue for this guy. So people in the chat, let me know your thoughts, comments, and suggestions. What do you think about this game? What do you think Tuchel is going to do? What do you think Norway is going to do? And let me know your predictions. I'm going to step away for a couple seconds, folks, and you all can let me know what you think. And I'm going to play the Nigel Rojas song for you all and Sun Syndicate called Champions, and I'll be back. So I'll see you all in a couple of moments, folks. So let's take it in.
Champions, play hard and have fun, destined for number one. We gonna shine, 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 shine. Oh, oh, oh. We gonna shine, we gonna shine. So heart makes a pact, plan to keep it, destined to rise, undefeated. We gonna shine, we gonna shine. Stay the course till the battle's won. A winner's work is never done. Confident till we reach the sun. We gonna shine. We are true champions. Play hard and have fun. Destined for number one. We gonna shine, we gonna shine. We are true champions. Play hard and have fun. Destined for number one. We gonna shine, we gonna shine. Remember, always be focused. Ignore comments from detractors. We got to make them respect us. We gonna shine, we gonna shine. If you really wanna reach the top, we gotta push, don't never stop. Negative is a bitter crop. We gonna shine, we gonna shine. We are true champions. Play hard and have fun. Destined for number one. We gonna shine, we gonna shine. We are true champions. Play hard and have fun. Destined for number one. We gonna shine, we gonna shine. Negativity can't defeat us. Don't let bad vibes come between us. Always have faith in our leaders. We gonna shine. Shot. Shoot for the stars with pride. Victory can't be denied. All together side by side. We gonna shine. We are true champions. Play hard and have fun. Destined for number one. We gonna shine, we gonna shine. We are true champions. Play hard and have fun. Destined for number one. We gonna shine, we gonna shine. Oh, 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 shine. Oh, 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 we're gonna shine. We're gonna shine. Kumbaya, kumbaya. Champion, champion, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, champion, champion. We are true champions. Play hard and have fun. Destined for number one. We gonna shine, 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 shine. Oh, oh, oh. Shine, we gonna shine. Oh, we're gonna shine. We're gonna shine. Oh, so lies the prize. That's the secret. Heart makes a pact. Plan to keep it. Destined to rise. Undefeated. We gonna shine. We gonna shine. Till the battle's won, a winner's work is never done. Confident till we reach the sun. We gonna shine. We are true champions. Play hard and have fun. Destined for number one. We gonna shine. We gonna shine. We are true champions. Play hard and have fun. Destined for number one. We gonna shine. We gonna shine. Remember, always be focused. Ignore comments from detractors. We got to make them respect us. We gonna shine, we gonna shine. If you really wanna reach the top, we gotta push, don't never stop. Negative is a bitter crop. We gonna shine, we gonna shine. We are true champions. Play hard and have fun. Destined for number one. We gonna shine, we gonna shine. We are true champions. Play hard and have fun. Destined for number one. We gonna shine, we gonna shine. Negativity can't defeat us. Don't let bad vibes come between us. Always have faith in our leaders. We gonna shine. Shot. Shoot for the stars with pride. Victory can't be denied. All together side by side. We gonna shine. We are true champions. Play hard and have fun. Destined for number one. We gonna shine. We gonna shine. We are true champions. Play hard and have fun. Destined for number one. We gonna shine. We gonna shine. Oh, 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 oh.
All right, folks, and we're back. We are back, and the game has kicked off. And let's see what changes will take place in the second half of this massive monumental tie between England versus Norway. So I'm just fixing my clock here. England out left on the front foot. And folks, I'm going to be honest with you. I think Norway messed up. I think Norway messed up really bad. So if you're just joining us, let me know what you think about the game. What do you think about the score? What do you think about how the players are playing? I'm going to reload the play-by-play right now with back. So I'm seeing Sook in Rock 1896 supporting England. So I'm going to bring back up the play-by-play on the screen. So you can let me know how it looks, folks. And we're back. And just fix it really quickly. So a free kick for England, folks. Very quickly into the beginning. England are going on the front foot as expected. Declan Rice has come off. So let's check that as well with my SofaScore data as well. So Declan Rice is off. We knew he had a flu. He had some injuries and so on. So let me get my data from the SofaScore app, folks. You could check that out. And let me see what happened. So Declan Rice and Eze has come on. So that's an interesting substitution there. So folks, let me know how the play-by-play is. Harry Kane over the ball. Can they cause problems here? I am a couple seconds behind because this is the feed I'm getting. So blocked by the wall and over for a goal kick. So England trying to put on the swagger of champions. You know, they all want this ball to go home, so let's take a look at the free kick. It came off of Harry Kane, I believe. It came off of Harry Kane. So, yep. It's not ideal, folks. It's not ideal. So I'm just taking a look at my... making sure everybody's okay in the chat. So Norway are going to feel a bit annoyed with themselves because it's always going to be a bit of an uphill challenge. Make no mistake, folks. England with a 4-1-2-3 formation. Sorry, Norway. And... they're going to be annoyed. So Berg and Odegaard, Haaland, Soloth, and the goal scorer up front. This is interesting, folks. If you're just rejoining us, the second half has resumed. And as expected, England on the front foot. Declan Rice coming off. So I think England opting for a bit more pace and width. Clearly. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I think Norway... I think I said Denmark a couple times, folks, and please forgive me. I am very exhausted. I think Norway are definitely the team would be more aggrieved with themselves because you could have at least held off until halftime with that 1-0, reshape yourself. The coach would have his instructions, but to score that late, that's what Bellingham does, folks. If you watch England, you observe how they play. Both Bellingham and Harry Kane are players that they rise to the occasion. When England needs them, these guys step up. And they have been stepping up, not just in this World Cup, folks, but since the Euros. Since the Euros. So people in the Facebook Live everywhere as well, let me know your predictions as well. Forcing themselves down that side, and I think not doing enough to keep the ball in. So Saka coming on. He's claiming he was fouled by Saka, if it's Wolf, if I'm not mistaken. The left back for Norway. I saw the coach being absolutely furious at Ham when that goal was scored, and I think it was just a testament to Jude Bellingham's determination and maybe Norway being slightly complacent. It just shows you at this level, folks, you cannot switch off for more than a second. You will get punished. Just ask Egypt. Just ask all those teams. Just ask Senegal when Belgium came back. This is why the big teams are here and why England were among the favorites. They may not be playing the most pleasing football, but they're getting the results. And like I said, folks, I do have my preview at extvmedia.com. And also the Argentina match preview is up right now. So when you guys are done, you can head straight across to that and check it out and let me hear your predictions. It is now live on YouTube, so it went up a little while ago. The Argentina-Switzerland preview with Gaston Hoffman of SofaScore. So you could check that out, folks. You could check it out. So Saka is clearly coming on with the attempt to destabilize. I think they're probably saying, Tuchel is probably saying, listen, We could have a go at these guys. Let's speed the game up. Destabilize their defense. So you could see here the 4-5-1 formation. But England are still managing to pass their way through. And if you are the coach of Norway, but once again, as I spoke, a counter-attack here. Sørloth getting the ball in. Trying to link up well with his player, but not connecting well. And this could be a dangerous situation for Norway. Saka in the box here. This is where Saka is very dangerous. Well blocked. And you could see Norway with a very specific tactical counter-attacking style, which of course was intercepted. But it could have led to a dangerous opportunity. So make no mistakes, folks. Both teams have their strengths. Norway are playing to theirs. They know they can't really outpass them and outrun them in the midfield. So they slow the game down to a pace they can manage and allow the England players to chase them. As you can see, we've seen this in the first half. They allow them to press, run through that space created in the middle, which we're seeing now. Looking for that gap, going out wide. This is what you want. Try to get the ball to Haaland. Haaland, not a very good cross. But once again, folks, English fans, take the emotion out of this. Sørloth with a cross, not a great cross. But Pickford has not been dealing with crosses and shots really well. He has been flapping at a lot of them. And it was going over, but Pickford not taking chances. And now it was very high in his defense to capture the ball. But I've watched him throughout the tournament. He hasn't been catching balls he should catch. Easier said than done when we're sitting on the couch. But I've worked with players. I say this because I've worked as an analyst on national teams and so on. And I feel as if Pickford, against a very powerful team, could cause a problem. So, corner for Norway. Sørloth taking it. You have Haaland in the box. Whipped in. Not a very good delivery. Cleared by Harry Kane of all people. So, folks, let me know what you think about the play-by-play brought to you by SofaScore. Whipped in. Trying to get to Haaland, of course. Haaland forcing a corner. So, Haaland has gotten 3 headers, I think, if I'm not mistaken. 1 on target with Pickford. Or maybe 2. And this one, I just spoke about it, folks. Pickford does not look very confident with holding the ball. I think he just goes with his safe choice, which is pushing it away. I'm sure James would probably have some thoughts about that, being a former keeper himself. Of course, if in case you're wondering, folks, who is this YouTube guy talking? I did work on national teams. I did work in professional football. I am an analyst. So sometimes I'm in the training sessions and I understand, some of the technical parts where Pickford looks a little bit shaky. So once again, a corner for Norway. And clearly a couple seconds behind some of the other people here. I requested my food and I didn't get it yet. So clearly my people don't care about me. So a corner for Norway. Not bad. Getting through all the players. It's another corner for Norway, is it? So England not clearing that really well. Another corner for Norway, and that could have been a possible dangerous opportunity. The English defense, if you are Tuchel, you will be absolutely furious and be talking about that in the hydration break. So another corner, folks, for Norway. A series of corners. They're going to have to take advantage of this, take advantage of the aerial superiority in some areas. While everybody's focused on Haaland, maybe somebody else could get on the ball, maybe Sørloth, who knows. So let's see if this delivery was great. That last corner went straight through. That could have gone anywhere, folks. So there's a little bit of a conversation in the box. But, pretty well-disciplined team so far. So let's see how it goes. Whipped in. Wow! Wow, folks! It's a goal! It is a goal! Wow, folks! 2-1 for Norway. They have been knocking on the door. And it is now 2-1. What a goal from a set piece. They were knocking on the door in the first half. They would be annoyed with themselves. I said they should have been at least 2-1 up. And England, what were you doing on those set pieces? You saw a bit of a preview just before. So are they going to call it? You can't even celebrate goals now, folks. You can't even celebrate goals now. You have to look and see if it's... In the meantime, I'm going to give them their 2-1 as they deserve. So it's Norway 2, England 1. So the ref is looking at something. I don't know what it is. But it is 2-1. And I don't know how to pronounce this game. Torbjorn, folks. Look at that. Headed in. Scuffle. Scrapping in the box. Is it going to be allowed, folks? Let's read some of the comments really quickly. England are having a look at it. So it is, I think Belgium didn't deserve to beat Spain. Norway 2-1. They're checking. So let's see if it... Let's see. Let's see if it stays. England are maintaining. Of course, when these things happen for other teams, it's not rigged. Only for Argentina, by the way, folks. So let's see for Norway, folks. They're looking at something. And they're saying it's a goal. It's a goal, folks. It's a goal, I think. My SofaScore update saying it's a goal. My Rush Sports is like 60 seconds behind the Norwegian player. So I'm looking at a feed on my live television here, folks. And it's 60 seconds behind. How embarrassing. So they're saying Haaland fouled someone there. And I think they've given the goal, folks. Let's see. They're reviewing. On my screen, they're reviewing it. So let's see. Chat, do you think it should be called back? Do you think it's a legit goal? And the ref is about to give his announcement. I don't have any audio here, folks, because, of course, flow, right? So let's see if I get some audio, which I'm not. Let's see. Let's see. Is it disallowed? Oh, so it's been taken back, folks. It's been taken back. It's been taken back. They're saying Haaland fouled the player. Of course, England, of course. No, I'm going to raise a question to fan a few flames here, folks. The goal has been taken back. How come when this happens with other teams, you all don't cry rigged? It does happen. So you all need to shut up about that rig thing. Seriously. You all are smarter than that. Stop saying that. So this, I think it was the correct call. I'm not going to say it's rigged or a conspiracy. I think Haaland didn't get it, but I think it's a little bit harsh. I think it's a little bit harsh, folks. But that's how it goes. If you're looking at the replay, it's a foul. And once again, we're back to 1-1, folks. We are back to 1-1. Norwegian fans definitely feel they should be in the lead. Once again, another corner for Norway. Once again, another attack for Norway. So Norway are on the front foot, folks. You would expect England to be on the attack. Norway already getting the ball in the back of the net twice, but this one disallowed. So let's see how it goes, folks. England with a series of corners. And of course, if Norway have to be very careful of the counter-attack here. So it's whipped in. Haaland getting on the ball. And England are not dealing well with these corners, people. And I did mention before that Pickford has not been looking very solid. So I think it's a legit. I think the call being disallowed was, some might say it's harsh, but it definitely did look like a foul. I've seen other refs ignore those things. But in the World Cup, I think they're very on the rules, very by the book, which is sometimes is very annoying. As you could see on the momentum maps on the screen there, so there's a bit of an injury there. Norway applying all the pressure. England not defending those corner routines well. And once again, Norway creating multiple chances in this game, folks. And we're seeing Materazzi, we're seeing Vieri, we're seeing Albertini, Roberto Carlos. Interesting people in the crowd there, folks. So is this a possible injury to Ryerson? Let's see, folks. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. So they're saying that the goal was disallowed because of a foul on Haaland. So let's see. I'm checking on the YouTube thing here. So just to make sure, folks, that when you're done, the Switzerland Argentina preview is up. So you can check that out as well when the game is on. So Ryerson is coming off. And I'll be honest with you, folks. I'll be honest. This game is absolutely crazy if you're a neutral. If you're an English fan, you're probably at the edge of your seat. If you're a Norway fan, it's already a bit of a win. And they did a lot of the interviews with the crowd said afterwards that they're very happy about how things are going. And like I said, folks, I'm just paying attention to my preview here. A lot of people want to see it. But England trying to counter-attack here. You would think England would be the team attacking, but Norway are showing they have some mettle. Getting an interesting ball past the England right back, but well intercepted. England dealing with it. Trying to pass the ball out the back. Harry Kane dropping very deep to help out. He's a player not known just for his goal scoring, folks. I know we talk about about Haaland, but Harry Kane is no slouch, folks. He drops deep, he can create plays. Magnificent, folks. Magnificent. So, we're 60 minutes in. We're at the hour mark. What a game we're seeing, folks. A lot of people laugh how I say folks a lot. So I'll say something else then. Norway controlling the play, passing the ball, creating the most of the chances. And folks, the momentum map does not lie. Just look at the momentum map and you'll see. The first half, it was all England with a couple spikes from Norway. Now it's flipped. And Norway, to their credit, taking initiative. They have nothing to fear, folks. The pressure is all on England. They are the favourites to win this game. Norway are doing well to get here, and deservedly so. And they will be applauded to get here. And, listen, why not fancy a go? Why not fancy a go at this game, folks? So Norway slowing things down now. You could see that the instructions are to play the games in increments. And England, for Norway, this is great for them. You can keep the ball, catch your breath. England are not putting too much pressure on them. I think England are now starting to see that Norway can cause you problems. So they're not pressing as much. They're being very cautious. England with the 4-3-3 formation. And Harry Kane just trying to close down those passing lanes, not pressing too much. And you could see, I will tell you this, what I've seen, Norway is doing a very similar tactic to what maybe Inter Milan does, where they are almost luring the English defenders into them, and then they do a quick 1-2 out the press. And then when they do that, it creates a little bit of space. So England are going to have to try to counter that. Holding up the ball really well. Keeping possession really well. Excellent ball through the middle here. So in terms of tactics, Norway have got it really well done. Getting the ball out wide. Maybe a bit more pace on that ball. To Soloth, I think. Oh no, it's not Soloth. It's a substitute. My feed is a little bit blurry. So Norway, interesting game, folks. English fans, Norway fans, Haaland fans, Kane fans. A lot of people are talking about both teams having my stream just refreshed there for the stats. I hope you guys are still seeing the play-by-play graphic on the screen there. I will check it momentarily. But we are a couple seconds behind. And you see, that was a moment where I think he should have crossed in the ball very quickly, but he didn't. So England, if you're Soloth, man, Soloth is very frustrating, folks. I've watched him in La Liga. And I have to tell you, he is a bit of a frustrating player because he's well liked by Simeone. He's well liked, obviously. He's a top, decent player. But, it feels as if sometimes I don't know, maybe it's just a limitation on his athletic ability. So can this come on, Norway, Kingsley, Haaland, push a defender? Yeah, that was correct. It was the correct call in the end. So they disallowed it. So people in the chat, everybody right now. This is a very interesting game. There have been no easy games, folks. None. All the quote-unquote superpowers have to work, and it just goes to show how the game has gone. So there will be a 2-minute... after this game, I'll have a conversation and I'll step away and have a meal. I need to pace myself. I have not been feeling tip-top. Bellingham drawing a foul in the middle of the pitch there, folks. So Haaland doing enough just to kind of frustrate Bellingham a little bit. And I think teams have their psychological thing. Bellingham with a little smirk there. So that's the right way to handle it. Where Bellingham has been known to lose his cool. This is part of the game, folks. So those of you who are casual watchers, the psychological part, the physical part, it's not just about pretty passing and wonderful dribbling. But defending is also a part of the game. The psychological aspect is also part of the game. And if you are not a mentally tough person, you could lose the game mentally. So Gordon trying to get on the end of that pass there, but England are looking a little bit... You don't want to see Gordon with his head down. We're seeing Ricardo Kaká, says Fabregas. Cafu, who I had the pleasure of meeting, folks. You can check it out on my Instagram. Alessandro Del Piero wearing a similar outfit to myself. And, this is very interesting, folks. A wide array of guests from different nationalities. So I had the pleasure of meeting Cafu back in 2024. So a throw-in for Norway. So if you're a Norwegian fan, this is what you want. You want to slow the game down. Catch your breath. England are not allowed to play the English style of football, which is to run at you. a lot of speed, quick passing. They can, compose themselves at least until the next hydration break. And then the coach could have a discussion about his tactics. And the same goes for England. And clean tackle. England winning the possession. That split second is stopped to see if it was a free kick they played. So you have to, as the old coaches say, play to the ref, son. Gordon attacking. The player touted by Barcelona, beating his man, crossing it in. Scrambling the box, but Norway doing enough just to get it out there. And Gordon showing why he's dangerous, why Barcelona may have signed him. Haaland applying a certain amount of pressure to Pickford. Pickford, while he may not have been great at collecting the ball and ball handling in this game, he did well to read that play because Haaland pressed at the right moment. And what an intelligent player Haaland is. Super intelligent this guy is. He knows they're not going to run toe-to-toe with England, so he's choosing his moments. He's showing leadership on the field. Perhaps, the tutoring of Pep Guardiola at Manchester City and playing for Dortmund as well has really elevated this player. And he's very young. And as you can see here, when not in possession, it's a 4-5-1 formation where one of the midfielders press when England comes through. So Norway going to make their second substitution. I think on the sidelines, I'm seeing some players warming up. And I'm glued to the screen, folks, if I'm not reading the comments because I'm really taking this game in. So Soloth is coming out and Oscar Bob is coming in. So number 7, Soloth, Oscar Bob coming in. And I think that is to bring some width, some speed, some dribbling. Soloth is capable of playing on the wings, but Bob gives you that little bit of extra speed that you need. I also need to find out where my food is, folks. I am starving. So I'm just calling my people to find out what's going on. Not the ideal situation for my game right now. And it's 1-1. So the goal scorer coming off, so another substitution as well. Oh, it's a hydration break. It's a hydration break. Check your messages. So it's a hydration break. So Bob and Nusa coming in. 2 very mobile, fast players. And we're in the hydration break, folks. We are in the hydration break. I'm pausing for a second. Some people want to see the chat, folks. So, yep. We're in the hydration break. We can't catch a moment right now. And I am hydrating as well. And everybody in the chat, I really appreciate you all supporting EXTV. The viewership has been amazing. People, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Let me know what you're thinking. I usually do a TikTok, but I'll probably have to do it for the Argentina game. I have a little gap. And also, when you're done, you could take a look at the Argentina versus Switzerland match preview with some highly professional individuals from SofaScore, Gaston Hoffman. And we usually have people like Shaka Hislop, Kenvin Jones, and Terry Fenning. So you could take a look at that when it comes, when the game is done. You could head across and drop your predictions. And drop your predictions right now, folks, because when you drop your predictions, like, subscribe, follow on all the socials, you automatically qualify for a chance to win prizes from the kind folks of Extra Time TV. You could win a jersey, club, or country, and also a copy of EAFC 27 when it comes out, and maybe some other giveaways as well, folks. We have a lot of merch. We have some partnerships with some people, so we may have some other giveaways as well. And be sure to scan the QR code if you want WhatsApp notifications of our latest updates, releases, and just general content. We don't just have watch-alongs. We have analysis. We have match previews, match reactions, and we have detailed analysis on extvmedia.com. Very data-driven. So you could check it out. We have one for this game, and we have one for the Argentina game as well. And it's way more on the data-driven side, not very emotional. And that's where we have the humans every once in a while. Shaka Hislop and everybody. So if you're just joining us, folks, we are in our hydration break. And Norway making their substitutions. We're approaching the 70th minute. And it's 1-1. Norway scoring first. Bellingham equalizing close to the end of the first half. Then Norway getting the ball in the back of the net, but it was adjudged to be fouled by Haaland in the box. So the goal was disallowed. So both coaches are going to have their discussions. Norway making their substitutions, And I'm seeing Reece is coming on for England. So James Reece is coming on. He's a player who he has injuries. There was some concerns about his match fitness. So he's coming on for Gordon. So I think they're going to tighten up on that on that side of the pitch. So he is coming back from an injury. So Gordon is off. Reece is on. Reece James is coming on. So clearly, I think, and also Norway have made two very attacking substitutions, two wide attacking players who are very mobile. And like I said, folks, these hydration breaks have really changed the dynamic of this game. And it gives you the opportunity. And I would say it has changed the game significantly in terms of how it's done and how it's handled, in terms of the tactics. You can now have water breaks. Basically, the game is basically now not 2 halves, but 4 quarters. 4 quarters for the Americans. So I see a lot of notifications popping in, but there's a lot of information going on here. Let's see how both coaches adapt to the changes. So Pickford pushing up aggressively. And, to be fair, Norway pushing him back. And I have to say, kudos to Norway so far. With a giveaway, folks. Playing dangerously. They thought they would be sitting back and almost, I think it was Gay, who almost got his or Konsa maybe got his pocket picked. And, England were trying to play some possession at the back, but Norway showing, folks, don't play any possession with us. We will come at you. This is the second time England tried to play very deep, trying to draw Norway out, and they almost lost the ball. And, if you are a defender and a couple times you did that, you lost the ball, you're going to be a bit more cautious now. Norway are not letting this game slide, folks. What a game, folks. What a game. I'm enjoying this. I won't be this calm for the other game, folks. At halftime, I'm going to rest. I'm going to do a little stretching, rehydrate, eat. And I am pacing myself, folks. I am pacing myself. I usually drink coconut water, but I don't have any right now. I do encourage healthy habits, folks. Walk around. I'm sitting here for 2 hours. I'm going to stretch afterwards, so you could do that. So, yeah. Yeah. So my food has arrived, folks. So you can put it anyway. You can put it on the couch. I'll grab it. So 72 minutes in, folks. England 1, Norway 1. Getting home cooked meals, folks. You all are jealous. I know it. Yes. So that's good to see. Sheila's kitchen. Yeah. So back to the game, folks. Wow, that food smells good. I am so hungry. So England on the attack here. Some space on top of the box, whipping it in. Cleared by Haaland of all people. Oh, no, not Haaland. My bad. So Haaland fouled there. That should be a foul, but they're trying to launch a counter-attack. The ref is allowing it to play on. The substitutions allow Norway to create a bit more width. Haaland is gesturing to pass the ball back. Attacking in the box. This could be something. Holding the ball a little bit too long. I think if he just took a shot there. I've seen this with the other Norway games where I think it was Nusa, But both substitutions that came on are very good at dribbling. So Saka getting his sock torn. But, Norway could also have an argument for a free kick. So Pickford with a quick delivery, but it was not well read. I think he was trying to release Bellingham up front. Oh, no. I think it was one of the centre-backs was up front for England, which is interesting. So you could see Norway playing their cards, attacking down that wide area. Ball to Haaland. That's the guy you want to get it to. Both players dribbling. Haaland with the ball. This is not where you really want Haaland, but an excellent ball in. Crossing it in. Great cross by Haaland. And you are seeing the width of the two players that Norway brought on. They're causing England some problems. They're taking on players and they're forcing England back. Pickford is furious. And you have to give compliments to Norway and their substitutions. It's absolutely insane. We're seeing Terry. I'm not Terry Fennick, but John Terry and Ashley Cole sitting in a crowd. Is that Ashley Cole? Tuchel looking a bit concerned as he should be. And so for score, folks, let's take a look. So a corner for Norway, folks. A corner. So let me just get the substitutions correct. So Nusa and Oscar Bob. I keep mixing them up. So let's see. Can we see something dangerous on this corner? So Berg, Patrick on the corner. There's a little bit of a discussion in the box there. Pickford is very angry with his defense. I'm not sure who the ref is talking to. But this is where the game is going to get serious, folks. We're 15 minutes before the 90th minute mark. If you're an English fan, you're probably at the edge of your seat. I still think England has a better overall squad, and then the individual players do rise to the occasion. Reece getting very physical in the box. Whipped in. Pickford once again. Shot. Hits the bar. Oh my goodness, folks. Oh my goodness. Norway hitting the bar, folks. What a game. Should I eat while the stream is going on, folks? I'm very hungry, folks. I'm going to grab my plate while this game is going on. But wow. So Pickford once again flapping. And the ball hitting the bar, folks. And some could argue it's a foul on the Norwegian player. But kudos to the Norwegians. They are not complaining. They're not asking for a penalty. But Pickford is not looking solid, folks. And he hasn't been looking that way throughout the entire tournament. I think the defensive masterclass by England sort of bailed Pickford out. So England now are going to want to try to get back in this game. Bellingham is going to want to make one of his runs. And this is what you've seen with England, folks. They have been with their back against the wall in many games. But the individual brilliance of Kane and Jude Bellingham have gotten them out of jail many times. Are Norway going to regret all these chances they didn't convert? Folks, if you're just joining us, 76 minutes in, Norway hitting the bar off a corner from Norway. And both Nusa and Oscar Bob have been causing problems and pushing England back. So England now whipping the ball in. Well cleared by Norway. Are Norway going to regret these chances, folks? Are they going to do it? They should have a counter for how many times I say folks on the stream. People on the Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch. This game can go any direction, folks. If you're doing something else, you need to stop what you're doing and put your eyes on this screen. Haaland trying to cause a counter-attack there. Doing well to kind of take some pressure off. And I think, I can't see who it is, but he did a good job trying to stop Haaland from being physical with the ball. Because that could have launched. Haaland gives you that 1 second to hold the ball up. So England, creating some possession, whipping the ball in. Comfortably cleared by Norway. So England now trying to apply some pressure back to Norway. Passing the ball around. Trying to create some width. Trying to destabilize this Norwegian defense. Resorting to some air balls in. And going from side to side. Saka taking his time. Reece high up the pitch. Back out to Saka who could take on his players. Looking for that 1-2. Cutting inside. Crossed in. And almost the ball missing everyone and going far to the far post. That could have easily been a very unintentional goal for England. I don't know if the keeper was so positionally aware that he didn't know it was going in. No, he didn't because he dived. There was no way he knew that was going to miss. So Saka with a dangerous cross inside, trying to get onto Anderson. And that could have been something. I'm seeing a replay of the Norwegian set piece hitting the bar. Chat. Will Norway come to regret this? Haaland holding the ball up really well. Holding the ball up really well. Causing problems. Keeping possession for Norway. If you're Norway, this is what you want. Keep possession. Don't attack too recklessly. If you're England, this is not what you want. You don't want Norway getting comfortable, calming things down. And Norway have played a tactically brilliant game, folks. No matter how this game goes, if you are a Norwegian fan, you should be very proud of this performance. They are pushing England to the limit, folks. Creating multiple chances. Hitting the bar. Getting a goal disallowed. And having several openings. They are not, taken aback by this occasion. England in a defensive shape like they did against Mexico. They can't defend if they need to, as you saw against Mexico with one man down. So they are capable. Haaland in the box there, in an offside position. Maybe this is a tactic. So clearly Norway working their ball on the right side. Both Oscar Bob and Nusa brought on to bring that width. Excellent 1-2 pass. Norway looking the more sharp team at the moment, folks. I have to say. But it's not about how sharp you look, it's about the goals. And England are not, in this tournament at least, may not have been the better team on the pitch. In some cases, overall, for the eye candy. But the goals are what matters, folks. And I don't think any England fan will care how they get through once you get the results. So, interesting ball in swinging cross, out wide. Dangerous in swinging cross. And now forcing a throw-in for Norway. And these are the last couple of minutes, folks, where Bellingham and Kane tend to come to life. It's almost like they allow teams to come at them and then they sting them and finish them off. So Norway are going to be aware of this. I'm sure they have their analytics guys and paying attention. And let's see what goes on. Let's see what goes on here, folks. So Norway making a marauding run into the box there. Keeping possession. Drawing a foul. The ref is saying no. Saka in a defensive position. And Norway not afraid to take on the English players on the wing. Forcing Saka back. Forcing England into a defensive position. Oscar Bob and Nusa on both sides. Some exceptional dribbling here. And England doing well to clear the ball out. But Norway look confident and they should not be afraid. There's no need to be afraid. Could this be a shot? England raising their arms for an offside, but they're not playing. They may have fallen asleep there for a second. So let's see how it goes. No, it's all Norway, folks. It is all Norway. Some drinks as well. So Norway playing better at the moment, folks. What will England do? Will England snatch it with a late strike from Bellingham like they usually do? Forcing another corner for Norway. Insane. You would think England would be the team applying pressure, but they're not. 100% Norway. The Norwegian fans should be very happy. No matter what happens in this game, they have been playing magnificent football. And you look on the momentum maps, you can see. So another corner, Haaland adjusting his ponytail. Berg taking the corners here. Will this be a nail in the coffin? Or will Norway regret? Norway, folks, it's all about the goal. So Norway creating chances. Odegaard, the ref having a discussion with Odegaard. I don't understand why. He's not doing anything. He's staying close to Pickford. I think they realize that Pickford is not comfortable holding the ball. So it's a corner for Norway. And cleared again. And Norway once again pushing England back, folks. And I'll be very honest. Take the biases out of it. But now there's a goal kick. England can now catch their breath. Let me read some of the comments really quickly. Let's see. Lots of comments. Candice, disallowed. If England win, I'm backing them. If Argentina beat Switzerland. Pickford still not satisfied with England's defense. Athena, 3 Lions for the win. Redo is here. So what a game we're seeing, folks. Are we going to see England do what they always do? Suffer, play rough, and then get a goal at the end that breaks the other team's heart? Are we going to see that? Or are Norway going to push them all the way? If you're just joining us, folks, if you're not a football fan or you're not a fan of each team, you should be sitting and watching this game and preferably watching the game with me. We also have the other big game tonight, Argentina versus Switzerland. But we are not there yet, folks. We have to focus on this game. England going to make another substitution. And the ref is asking him something. I don't know what it is. But Norway creating multiple chances, getting the ball in the back of the net, hitting the post, getting a lot of corners, showing a lot more in the attacking area. Haaland has been great, not with just the goal scoring because he hasn't scored in this game, but his hold-up play has been highly intelligent. Excellent through ball for Norway. In the box here, taking on his man. And that's the thing, they're not afraid, folks, and nor should they be. If you're a Norwegian fan or a neutral, you're going to enjoy this game. This game is a lot of fun. But England has known to been doing this for the entire game, folks. They will play like this and then sucker punch you. And Bellingham has a tendency to score late goals as well as Harry Kane. And that's how deadly they are. So taking it in both Nusa and Scott. Oscar Bob, sorry. Am I saying the wrong name? On the wings, taking on players. Shot on goal. And Pickford, for the first time, you're going to be happy if you're seeing this, keeping the ball up. So Nusa taking on his player with a lot of skill on both sides. So they are causing England problems, folks. And I have to say massive kudos to Norway and their approach. There's no parking the bus. They are defending when they have to, yes. But they have been creating and creating and creating. But like I always said, folks, football is not about creating and how you look. It's about the goals you score. And we've seen England do this time and time again with teams. Not play spectacularly well and then get those lethal finishes that you need. That little burst from Bellingham, that finish from Kane. And they always do it. They did it in the Euros. They're doing it in the World Cup right now. And I think Norway are pushing them to the limits. And no matter what happens in this game, folks, no matter who wins, Norway should be very proud of this performance. David Beckham looking very stressed, the Inter Miami man. You could see it on his face, being a former player. He's highly stressed. And England making their substitutions now. So O'Reilly is coming off. And Jed Spence coming on. Spence is coming on. This is our watch along, folks. Not the boring commentary. We could show emotion here. We can be real. So Spence is coming on. And England are going to have to adjust very quickly. And Norway are going to have to be very sharp. How many times we've seen England snatch victories around this time? I've seen it multiple times. I've been watching this particular team with Southgate and Tuchel. And this is what they do. And to be honest, they don't look too much different from a Gareth Southgate team right now. So England, we're in the 86th minute. I don't know how much extra time is going to go. I think there's probably going to be a decent amount because of the goal that was disallowed. I know they were looking at that. England trying to get their foot back into the game. I'm sure they're going to try to go out wide and destabilize the Norwegian backline. But Norway so far have been holding on really well. Usually I use the saying, they're creaking but not breaking. They're not creaking. They're doing really well. But this is a dangerous moment in the game, folks, where England tends to strike a lot from my observations. They do grind teams down. Saka trying to create an opportunity, getting inside the box here. And wow, exactly what I said, folks. England almost creating a chance from Saka. Folks, it sounds like I'm an analyst, like I do this for a living. This is exactly what England does. They have been on their back foot, as you can see from the momentum maps. If you don't have to listen to me, look at the momentum map. You could see on the graphs with the spikes. England have been on their back foot. And then they could create that one chance that could have almost buried Norway. That's how dangerous this England team can be. And annoying if you're an opposition fan. So Saka getting past his player in the end there. Nusa trying to come in, but an excellent interception by Norway in the end. The keeper was well and truly beaten by that low cross. And they are going to be buying him drinks tonight if they win this game. I think he plays for Bodo Glimt. I'm not sure. It could be him. You all could let me know in the chat. So we have a corner for England, folks. 87 minutes, approaching the 88th. If you're English and Norwegian, if you're English, you're going to have a little nervousness about you. But this is when England tends to strike, folks. This is when they tend to strike. And a corner for England. Haaland, I think, fouled in the box there for sure. Not Haaland. My bad. I don't know who that is. I'm supposed to be getting 4K footage and it's not. Some of the players are blurry. Luis Suarez and his son in the crowd. Just remind me, folks, is this game in Miami? So a substitution. Konsa is coming out and Morgan Rogers coming in. So I think they're trying to pack the midfield a little bit. Perhaps. I think that's probably the plan. I think they're going to try to get those extra numbers to overload. So England, I think, are going to go with 3 centre-backs and perhaps crowd. So Konsa is coming off and maybe crowd out the Norwegian midfield to balance off that 5-4 line that Norway has. So David Wolf is coming off and Marcus Peterson is coming on. So a wing-back for Norway. I have to say, folks, this game as a neutral is very entertaining. I think if you're English, this is going to be highly stressful. So Wolf is coming on and Peterson is coming on. I think a substitution. So England, I think, are going to try to crawl the midfield, perhaps limit the passing range of Denmark. I think they see that Norway, what am I saying? Norway are passing the ball and trying to pull them out. And I think that extra man in midfield will cause problems. They are winning those second balls when they come down, Norway. So England now are going to try to apply some pressure. Norway are going to be very intelligent. They've been very intelligent so far, folks. For this entire tournament, I've been very impressed with how they play. Even against France with the quote-unquote B team, they created a lot of chances, and a lot of people have not been talking about that. So in the box here, whipped in, Pickford once again opting to punch and not capture the ball. So this is exciting here. Norway applying some pressure. This is where England could be dangerous. A foot race here. Norway intelligently passing the ball back to the keeper. 7 minutes of extra time. The keeper fumbling a little bit with the ball there. Almost a disaster. What a disaster it could have been for Norway. The goalkeeper slipping and almost allowing the ball. You could see where he just lost his footing. And kudos to England for pressuring. Putting some pressure on the player there. So Tuchel looks furious, man. If you see his expression, he is furious. He is mad. And Norway almost shooting themselves in the foot there. What a shame it would have been to concede a goal like that. Haaland, with an excellent header up front, trying to link up with his wide men. They've been doing great. And they're applying pressure. Both teams are applying pressure. So it's not like, Norway are just sitting back and allowing England to come at them. And forcing England into uncomfortable counterattacks and perhaps drawing a foul here. Both teams will probably look to, catch their breath every couple seconds. But you can't look away from this game. You can't look away from this game. We're approaching the second minute. England, 10 attempts on... Norway, 10 attempts on goal. England, 6. 5 on target for Norway. 1 for England, folks. That says a lot. And that 1 was from Bellingham. Norway having the ball disallowed. The goal disallowed for a foul. And this is where England could be a little bit dangerous. I always say in the dying minutes, England has that little boost where they usually finish teams off. So Norway's going to have to pay attention to that. And can England break their hearts? We did see a moment where the ball did fall Harry Kane. That's the kind of guy for the moment. And Bellingham. Norway trying to keep some possession here. But England pressing. Intelligent ball back to the centre-back. And Norway intelligently passing the ball around. Being careful not to lose the ball to the inevitable press from England. Harry Kane trying to press his man. Very composed. Norway do not look phased, but England are doing what they do. Bellingham applying that little pressure there and causing some problems. And that's what he does. So Rodgers coming on, trying to rile up the crowd and applying that pressure. And this is what England does. They do have that late boost. So Terry Fennick, if you're out there, I hope you're okay. English fans, I hope you're okay. We're seeing some of the players look like they're cramping up. At England, are bringing on that extra midfielder that I think to try to limit the passing opportunities of Norway. What a game, folks. What a game. Let me hydrate. I have to pace myself, folks. So I'm seeing Bellingham, a shot on Bellingham. I don't think he's coming off. I don't think he wants to come off. So let's see what's going on. There is one of the players. He's cramping up. Is Haaland coming off? I hope not. I hope that's not what we're seeing. I think Haaland is the kind of player that can't stay on. So we're seeing the English fans. Is it coming home? Is it coming home? Is it? So I'm seeing a lot of England fans with their picture of Harry Kane. And the last time they won the World Cup in 1966. So he looks like he's not okay. And as well, you would expect them to try to slow the game down a bit. A tactical thing of note is the introduction of Rodgers does limit the passing opportunities for Norway. They're trying to pull England in and pass the ball out. But I think Tuchel reading the game really well. When you have Rodgers in there, it does take away that option of passing the ball around. So let me make sure, folks, I haven't been reading the comments and forgive me. Like I said, while we have this little break here, let's read some of the comments really quickly. So Andre is here. Welcome. Pickford feeling nervous, I believe. Kingley. Win, draw, loss, don't matter with Norway. They play. Yes, correct. A lot of respect for Norway. 7 minutes of added on time. And let's take a look at the people in the other chat as well. People in Facebook. Kingley's saying 7 minutes. I'm just going to fix my play-by-play here very quickly. England in possession here. And let's see. England folks have been known to snatch games very late. So let me just make sure my play-by-play is looking really good there, folks. Okay, it's good. So England, I think they're going to try, they do try to get those late goals. I think they're going to try to overpower Norway in the box. And they are now trying to apply that pressure. So Norway now in their defensive shape. They're going to have to keep their calm. England have those dynamic players, as you could see, pushing up on the right side. I almost said Kyle Reese. Apparently, I'm looking at it too many. Now, look at that. Guess who was at the end of the header, folks? Guess. Jude Bellingham. This guy has the amazing ability to find space late in games and get these headers that could break teams. If that's a guy you want, it's Jude Bellingham or Harry Kane. You have to give the guy credit. He finds a way to get in those open spaces. And, he's looking a little bit frustrated. But this guy has played his lungs out for England. So, goal kick for Norway. We're 5 minutes and 30 seconds into the extra time. And, folks, a minute and 2 minutes in this game is a long time. So, England applying that pressure and getting a foul. And this is where I think Tuchel made a very interesting tactical substitution. I think with that extra man, as I said multiple times, it does limit Norway that freedom to pass the ball around like they were doing before. And they haven't been able to really build up at the back. So it allows England to pressure a little bit more and create numerical superiority, which makes Norway's passing out the back, which they've been doing really well, a bit more difficult. So they probably have to go the direct route. So we're now 6 minutes, less than 60 seconds of extra time, but I think we may get a little more than 7 minutes. What a game, folks. England are known. You could see they're pressing higher up, and of course, the usual suspects, Jude Bellingham, Harry Kane, whipping the ball up the field here. So England have done a good job of kind of neutralizing the build-up play of Norway. They're not getting much of the ball now. I'm not saying that England is dominating, but, Norway, they have stemmed that flow. And I think it's a throw-in for Norway. It is. So just about 20 seconds left according to the clock. But I think it may be a bit more than 7 minutes. And wow, folks. This is a proper game. I will probably try to sneak in a little bite to eat. Almost a bit. And this is what Bellingham does. He's running in. He's asking for a foul. A bit theatrical, I think. Are they going to get that foul? Harry Kane is asking for a foul. And, they like to pride themselves on not being divers and rolling around, but they do their share of whining and rolling around. It's not just a Neymar thing. So, Denmark, this is where Bellingham is dangerous. He looks at least a couple meters away from the centre-back, and then he has that burst of speed. And the defender, there's no contact. Let's take a look at the replay. Folks, what do you think? Is that a legit foul, or is it not? Is Bellingham being a baby? So Kane is arguing his case. And folks, every time you do this, it adds on a couple minutes. And I think the ref is saying, it's not a free kick for England. Because it's not. But this is where Bellingham is dangerous. Bellingham was some distance away. Come on, Bellingham, come on. You're a better player than that. You don't need to resort to that. And this is what I talk about. A lot of people stereotypically say it's Neymar and South American countries, but these guys, come on. I mean, even Michael Owen admitted to diving back in 2002. And, come on. So Harry Kane. Now, I've seen this before in the Mexico game. Harry Kane is staying high up the pitch now. And he has the ability to hold the ball up and lay players off, and even he caused a penalty against Mexico. So we're now 8 minutes and 23 seconds into extra time. And I think they're going to see it out and we're going to go to extra time. Because I see, yes, okay. So full time, we're in the 90th minute. It is 0-0. What a game we have, folks. Norway won. England won. What a second half. Norway getting a goal, but it was taken back by VAR because it was adjudged that Haaland fouled the defender in the box. And I have to be honest, folks, Norway have been the more dangerous team. Hitting the bar from a corner. Will they regret those chances? As you can see on the screen there, we have the momentum map. Norway did dominate the second half. And as the game goes along, which we'll be having extra time, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Folks in the chat, I'm going to step away for a couple of moments just to catch my breath. I will be playing that song called Champions from Nigel Rojas and Sun Syndicate from True Trinidad and Tobago artists. People in the Facebook live, people in the YouTube live, people in the Twitch live. Share, like, comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts, folks, because when you do that, you automatically qualify for a chance for a giveaway. The jersey giveaway and the EAFC 27 giveaway. So we are 1-1, folks. And I'll be honest, just a quick tactical wrap-up. Norway have managed this second half really well. They have created several chances. They have hit the post. They had a goal disallowed. And England, towards the end, made one substitution with Rodgers. And I think that may have limited Norway's play a little bit towards the end there. So Tuchel and his analysts deserve some credit there. But in the first half, let's be real, in the majority of the game, The stats I saw, England had 1 shot on target. So Tuchel is having a conversation with his men. I'm going to fix my clock really quickly here. And I'm going to step away for a couple seconds, folks, just to get something to eat really quickly. So keep the comments going. Let me know your predictions. You cannot leave this game, folks. And I really appreciate everybody in the watch along. This is a big one. This is the big boy part of the tournament. Who's going to go through? Let's see. So I'm going to step away for a couple seconds, folks. And I will be back just before the kickoff, just to grab a couple refreshments. So I'll see you in a couple moments.
Champions, play hard and have fun. Destined for number one. We gonna shine, 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 shine. Oh, oh, oh. We gonna shine, we gonna shine. Oh, we're gonna shine, we're gonna shine. So lies the prize. That's the secret. Heart makes a pact. Plan to keep it. Destined to rise. Undefeated. We gonna shine. We gonna shine. Stay the course till the battle's won. A winner's work is never done. Confident till we reach the sun. We gonna shine. We are true champions. Play hard and have fun. Destined for number one. We gonna shine. We gonna shine. We are true champions. Play hard and have fun. Destined for number one. We gonna shine. We gonna shine. Remember, always be focused. Ignore comments from detractors. We got to make them respect us. We gonna shine.
So, folks, we're back. I was taking a quick bite off screen there. So I will lower the stats really quickly because it's on the screen right now. So both teams huddling in the middle there. I had to grab something to eat. I was very hungry. And like I said, folks, just to get back in the chat there, let me know what's going on. So King Lee is saying, everybody, so drop your comments. England, what a matchup we have, folks. What a matchup. The Three Lions, Norway, we're approaching. We're going to start extra time. What do England need to do, folks? I want to hear your tactics in the comment section below. What do Norway need to do? Drop your predictions because you will qualify for EXTV giveaways, folks. So we already had 2 winners. So we're about to do the kickoff for the first half of extra time. So let's go. So Bellingham up front. He wants to get this for England, folks. He wants to get this for England. Everybody's at the edge of their seat. Sorry. Nobody's at the edge of their feet. What am I saying? So let's see. England getting ready. I try to grab a quick snack in between. This game is going to be a long night tonight, folks. If you're English, if you're Norwegian, if you're neutral, let me know. So the players are at the center circle, getting ready to do their thing. And we're off. Oh, no, we're not off. Now we're off. Okay, no, now we're not off. What is going on? What is going on in this game, folks? We're not off. Now they're doing it again. Bellingham taking the ball. Now we're off, folks. Now we are off. And we are back into the game. And like I said, folks, drop those comments. Let me know, what do you think England needs to do? What do you think Norway needs to do? Norway had the better of the second half. What do you think that conversation with Tuchel was like? And folks, it's very hard to call. It's very hard to call. So I'm pulling back up the play-by-play for you guys. And let me know if you guys are hearing it. Okay, let me know. It's from SofaScore. And when we're done, folks, when this game is done, who knows who's going to win? You could take a look at the SofaScore match preview we did on YouTube. For those of you who want to see that, you could scan the QR code. The link will be placed in there when this game is done, and you can check out the match preview. And England spreading the play. Saka, very dangerous. We saw earlier he did create that half chance for England. And that's how dangerous England are, folks. They can sit back, and I think it's a testament to their grit, defend, and they can get a goal. They do have those players that could create a dangerous moment and hurt you. And they've done this multiple times, not just in the World Cup, but we've seen it in the Euros. We've seen it in, in the Euros. So Saka taking on his man and trying to not concede a corner, but in the end, Saka applying the pressure there. So Norway are going to try to keep their shape. A corner for England, folks. 1 minute, 27 seconds into the first half of extra time. What a game. What a game. I have to say, everybody in the chat, let me know your predictions. I know English fans, I can understand your nerves right now. And England have been known to get those late goals. And if you're Norway, you have to give hats off to Norway for how they perform so far. No matter what the result, they perform well. Bellingham. Set piece. Can Harry Kane and these guys put something in for Norway? And it looks like a blatant handball by someone. That's what Haaland and they are talking about. The ref clearly didn't see it. Who did that handball? What a header by Harry Kane. But what is going on? I could have swore I saw a handball. So England have scored. But they're going to have to take a look at it. So England has scored, folks. It is now 2-1. Of course. Of course, who's going to score? Jude Bellingham. Hey, Jude. What a player this guy is. What a player that is. Exactly the type of player you expect. This is a guy that scores for England. I swore like at least 2-3 minutes before there was a handball in the box. And now I think this is what England does, folks. If you're an English fan, you must be very happy. Jude Bellingham doing what he always does. This guy has been monstrous for England. So we're just 3 minutes into extra time. And Bellingham, despite Norway dominating the second half, England came out strong at the beginning and got that goal. And there was some shouts for a handball in the lead up to it, which we're not seeing. Clearly the refs saw nothing, so they're not looking at it. But I'm not seeing a replay, which I think is a bit strange. So Bellingham running onto that rebound. And if you are the Norwegian goalkeeper, you're going to be mad at yourself. You probably should have just punched that ball away. He slapped it straight into the path of Bellingham. So Rodgers, what an impact he has made. He came on, and now he took a shot that led to the goal from Jude Bellingham. So folks, if you're just joining us, Jude Bellingham making the difference for England once again. This guy continues to do this. We've seen this in the Euros. How are Norway going to respond? How are Norway going to respond? That is the question. That is the question. Bellingham. This guy just continues to carry this team along with Harry Kane on his back. I truthfully believe, folks, if you did not have Bellingham and Harry Kane, this team would have been very different. And it's not me disrespecting the team. I think these guys are just massive for this national team. And Norway, once again, I said this in the second half and in the first half, are Norway going to regret those chances they didn't take? They hit the post. They had a couple half chances. They had a couple chances in the first half. Now England could try to sit back, but Norway have shown they can break you down. And kudos to Norway. They did try to break down England and get the game done. So Nusa taking on his man. And Bellingham, who's running all over the pitch, fired up. Guy has an engine in his chest, folks. he gets those goals. And I mentioned it multiple times. Who did not see that coming? It's like clockwork. Jude gets the ball. Denmark trying to create something here. And Tuchel's substitutions paying off immediately with Rodgers in the midfield causing that shot, which Bellingham got onto. And I think Norway now are going to have to turn things on. There's still a decent amount of time, so they don't have to recklessly attack. And they have shown that they can get past this English defense. So, England not very strong in keeping the ball. Excellent interception there by Nusa, I believe. So Norway are going to have to try to get back into this game and create some chances. So there's a decent amount of time left. And this is the risk when you do this, folks. You do run the risk of exposing and getting hit on a counter-attack when you are 1-0 down and you're trying to get that equalizer. So England showed against Mexico they can hold off. And let's be honest, folks. On the overall run of play, Norway has played a lot better. But as I said multiple times in the stream, goals are what win you games. And I don't think any England fan cares right now how they win. People are just going to remember the result. And, if you're Norway, you're probably already thinking, hey, those chances we missed. Those chances we missed. So it's not over yet, folks. I don't think Norway is done. And they are playing the calm, composed way they have played all along. And the goal, in a lot of ways, came out of nowhere. Rodgers taking a massive gamble, taking a shot from deep. And Bellingham capitalizing like he usually does. And I hate to say I did call it, folks. It would have been Bellingham or Harry Kane. So England pressing at the right time. You could see Norway are trying to draw England out. And Bellingham has the lungs to run. He's going to run at you. And maybe that's the difference in the end. Maybe he has that extra lung. Because it's several times where because of the extra man in midfield, England can press a little bit more. And Norway are not getting to do that 1-2 they were doing earlier. You could see that there. That's a perfect example. In the first half and in the second half, before Rodgers came on, that would have been a 1-2 and a massive gap in that midfield. Now it's a bit more crowded. Norway have to kind of work their way through. And even when they draw one player out, England still have that 5 across the middle. And trying to get that through ball in. So England trying to calm things down. Getting the ball to Bellingham with a one-time ball. Out wide. A foot race. And in the end, Rodgers coming on, proving to be very influential on this game so far. The Norwegian substitutes, I think I said Denmark a couple times, folks. Please forgive me. The Norwegian subs are chanting on their players. Keep the comments going, folks. Can England see this out? Can England see this out? So as it stands, England are going to face the winner of the Argentina-Switzerland game, which is coming up tonight. So we're 8 minutes and 35 seconds in the first half of extra time. And I think England are going to want to try to control this game, but not sit back too much. This could be number 3 for England. Is that a penalty? It's a penalty for England, folks. I think that dribbling into the box did force a penalty. The ref is going to have a look at it. Let's see. Odegaard is claiming that he's diving. And this could be possibly the end for Norway, folks. They put up a great fight. But the dribbling from Spence forced that error, folks. So is the ref going to look at it? Let's see. Let us take a look at it. So he got in. And he ran in as well. And let's see. That's a tough one to call, folks. You could say it was a 50-50. And Spence kind of falling over. But you could also argue for the pen as well. So Bellingham and all these guys are absolutely fired up. They're looking at it, folks. So VAR is checking it. Let's read some of the comments really quickly while we're here. Is it a legit penalty? Comments. Let me know. Game over for England. I mean Norway. Penalty for England. I know some of you are ahead. Do you think this is a legit penalty? Let's get those comments going. I want to hear everything, folks. Do you think it's a legit pen? They're checking it. They are. And Haaland talking to Bellingham. My computer is running a little bit crazy now. So the ref is looking at it. The ref is looking. I want to get some volume. I want to hear what the ref has to say. Let's see. So it's a VAR check. My SofaScore widget is a couple seconds ahead. So let's see. Let's see. So he's coming across. I think you could argue both ways. I think you can argue both ways. I could understand the case of England, and I think you could understand the case for Norway. I've seen penalties given and not given for this, so I really think it's down to the ref, folks. I'm sure if you're English, I know exactly what you're thinking. My personal opinion is that it is a pen. But let's see. Let's see the suspense. The Harry Kane and those guys are gesturing to the ref, so let's hear what they have to say. No foul, no penalty, folks. So the Norwegians, chat, I would love to hear your opinion on that. They're saying it's a dive. Like I said, I could see both cases, so I've seen Haaland's father in the crowd. So, no penalty, no pen. So Norway have a chance. They have a chance. Can they come back? English fans, what do you think about that? What do you think about? Do you think that was a BS call or a legit call? I kind of lead towards the side it was a penalty, but like I did rightfully say, I could see both sides of the argument, folks. So Norway, will this ignite Norway to get back into this game and take control? And kudos to the dribbling. It forced the foul, and that's when you dribble at players very late in the game. Your legs are a little bit tired. When you have players that could take on 1v1s, 2v1s, that's what happens. You get situations like that. And, you know, if I was England, I would keep doing that. So Norway, England playing the game at a faster speed now, which is not to Norway's strength. Norway are not a team that are going to play you at 100 miles an hour. They're going to carefully work the ball in and try to lure England out. And Jude Bellingham pressing relentlessly, joining Harry Kane up front if he needs to, but then drops into that midfield of 5 if he needs to as well. Whipped in, and England has that extra ball. So Norway trying to find those gaps. So it's still, if you're just joining us, England 2, Norway 1. Tuchel is going crazy on the sideline. Norway on the wings, but I think covered really well by Rogers. Odegaard. Excellent ball into the middle. So Norway are going to have to pick up the pace a little bit, but also be careful, because then you could concede a counter-attack. So a bit of an overload here. Excellent ball. Well blocked. That was a shot that was well blocked in the end. I can't see who it is. By Gay. Nusa, perhaps taking 1 second too long, but an excellent pass into the box there. And if you're Norway, you're going to take hope from this. Imagine if he cut back. Gay would have already been on the ground, folks. A little South American cut back, he would have been on the ground. He committed. But when you're at this stage in the game and you're tired, excellent block in the end there. So corner for Norway. It's a corner for Norway, folks. What a game. What a game. And like I said, folks, at the end of this, we'll have the Argentina preview on the YouTube channel. And if you want to see it, you can scan the QR code. The link will be in there, and it's also on the YouTube channel. Just search Argentina, Switzerland preview and head over to EXTV. So the corner is whipped in. Well cleared by England. Crowding their box. Very similar to Mexico. And having that extra man, that combination of Kane and Bellingham pressing up front. Kane pressing, not allowing Norway to build up, which is the right thing to do. Because if you sit back too much and you invite pressure, then, you know, it creates opportunities for Norway to attack. And you can see the shape that Tuchel has set up. But Norway are creating their chances. Kudos to them. But converting your chances, that's the key. Trying to do an overlap here on the right side. Odegaard taking on his player. This could go to Haaland's head. Crossed in. And Pickford. And if you're an English fan, you'll be happy because he caught the ball. The cross was not dangerous. And Pickford, he was flapping at it in the first half, but it's good if you're an English fan. You'd love to see Pickford holding that ball. And Norway getting a call. Tuchel is absolutely furious on the sidelines. The German coach becoming more and more English by the day. And we have 3 minutes added on time. And Norway. Norway are going to want to not concede and perhaps have a discussion at halftime. So are they going to get one more effort? 3 minutes is a long time in football, folks. So another foul perhaps for Norway. And the ref not calling it. I'm having a hard time getting a read on this ref, folks. His calls are a little bit inconsistent. And England now trying to use their dynamism, use their range of players to try to pass the ball around and try to wear Norway down. Because Norway has to chase now, folks. So Reece on the ball. I'm sitting a little bit uncomfortable here, folks. I'm leaning forward. Bellingham. Always the man for England. And this is where England are dangerous. Going down those wings. They're going to try to overload. This is what led to the penalty. Bellingham going for that late run. That's what he loves to do. He knows how to get into those spaces late in the game. He drops them deep. And even though you see him coming, defenders have a hard time marking him. Especially for those zonal marking players. Sometimes he causes ruckus because then you try to figure out who marks him. England, folks. Diagonal ball out wide to Saka, who has the ability to take on men. So if England would probably try to see this half out, whipping the ball in, is it going to fall to... Of course, Jude Bellingham is in there with that late run. And, of course, England opting for a lot of pace on that left side of the pitch. And it is now... The first half has ended. The first half has ended. So let me stop my clock here, folks. My clock usually gives a lot of trouble, but it's behaving well today. It's behaving well today. It's behaving well. Oh, no, it's still going on. My bad, folks. It's still going on. Oh, my goodness. I stopped my clock too early. I stopped my clock too early. So I can't turn it back on now. So let's see what's going on. So Saka in the box. Saka in the box here. And England with a shot over the bar. So I turned my clock off way too early. Oh my God, I'm sorry about that, folks. So that is crazy. That is crazy. I did not know it was still going on. I did not know it was still going on. So my clock is still on. I'm trying to fix it really quickly to get you back up to speed. And I'm going to have to leave my clock on. I can't get it right. I can't fix that right now, folks. I can't fix it right now. So we're 15 minutes in. The ref is playing a little bit longer. I think because of the penalty call, there will be a couple minutes extra time here. And I am going to try to add on the seconds here. And it's... So it's finally. Okay, it's done. It's finally done. I was trying to fix the clock, so it's absolutely ridiculous. Wow. So let's get to the chat, folks. I am seeing people coming in and enjoying. I'm seeing people liking the chat. Sheila as well, Mom. What a game we have here, folks. What a game we have here. A lot of viewers. This is a record for the chat. Over 100 in the YouTube chat right now. England fans, are you guys going to see it out? Are you guys going to see it out? What's going to happen? What do you think about that penalty? Chat, I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear what you're thinking. I'm seeing a lot of comments here as well. So I'm seeing Kingley saying penalty disallowed. Yeah, okay, right. So the chat is a little bit off. So Bellingham scoring that crucial goal early into the beginning of extra time. And then having a penalty which would have probably killed the game. Called back. So Jude Bellingham once again coming up trumps for England, folks. Once again coming up trumps. What a massive game we have here, folks. I'm trying to eat. I'm trying to watch this game, but I can't look away. Can Norway pull something back and force this game into at least penalties? Can they do that? And the game coming from nothing, the goal coming from nothing. Rodgers taking a shot and the rebound falling kindly to Bellingham. You could see, I'm seeing I'm taking a look at a lot of the replays here. And, you know, the Norwegian coach having a conversation with his players. What do you think England needs to do? And also, I think Tuchel did a great tactical job of adding that fifth man in the midfield. I think it adds a lot of... when I say it limits the attacking range and passing opportunities of Norway. Norway were keeping the ball, and then when England comes towards them, they were creating those 1-2s. But with that extra man, Bellingham could now step out from that midfield five and assist with pressuring when needed and drop back if needed, which kind of negates what Norway was doing. And it comes back to this, folks. Are Norway going to regret all those chances they got? Are Norway going to regret all those chances they got? What a game we have here, folks. What a game we have. Everybody who's locked in, subscribe, like, let me know what's going on. So another substitution here. I see the substitutions are coming on. So I'm going to load the graphic back up, folks. And let me know what you think about the play-by-play. I'm going to put it back up here now, folks. So I'm seeing a substitution. Haaland is coming out. Wow. You know, if you're a Norwegian fan, you don't want to see this. But, I mean, he did run his lungs out. And Strand Larsen coming on. So Erling Haaland. Let me hydrate, folks. I have to catch my breath. So let's see the comments. I'm hearing some comments before the game resumes. Norway huddling in their circle there. So Norway need to fix this. Yeah, let's see. Let's see how they're going to fix it, folks. Let's see how they're going to fix it. You could see a lot of stress on their faces because they have not played poorly. That's the thing. They have not played poorly. They've played very, I would say, effective and in some cases better than England. But like I said at the beginning of the stream and at the middle of the stream and the end of the stream, folks. Let me make sure my clock is correct this time. I stopped it too early last time. What is happening? Why is it doing? Oh, there we go. So I tuned my audio down just so it doesn't clash with my microphones. So I want to make sure I get the clock. Last time it had a bit of a false start. So can Norway come back, folks? Can they come back? 15 minutes left. Can they do it? And we're off. And we are off, folks. What can Norway do? England, English fans, can they see this out? Norway, can Norway pull this back? What a game we have here, folks. I think, you know, Norway are going to be mad about that goal they conceded. And also those chances they missed. As you can see, England are pressing a bit more. And Norway are going to have to take some chances, which then opens them up to being exposed at the back. And you have those pacey English players who can hurt you at the back. But their hold-up play and their 1-2 play has been significant. I think if you're an English player, probably very happy that Haaland is off. So let's see what the substitute can do. And this is a team sport, folks. Nusa taking on his man in the box, hitting the ball across. And this is what you want to see if you're from Norway. And England very fortunate to get a corner. A foul. Bellingham rolling around. And they get a free kick, taking the pressure off. Let's see. Oh, that's a harsh call. In fact, I would say Bellingham kicked the guy in his sensitive area. So a shot of Haaland grabbing his nose. I'm sure he would like to be on, but, you know, physically, there's only so much he can do. I think England got away with one there. Bellingham kind of throwing himself to the floor. And, you know, if someone looked at that, you would say it was even a reckless call. So Haaland's dad in the crowd, sitting down there, taking the game in. And now it's, there's no pressure on Norway. They can attack knowing that they already achieved a wonderful achievement. And they don't have to play with fear. They don't have that fear of being the favorites. They don't have that fear of being World Cup favorites. They have gotten to a quarterfinal of the World Cup and playing well. Very much like Cabo Verde, Congo, and all these teams. They have been performing well. That should be a foul. Saka fouling his man in the Norway defensive area, defensive box. So Norway are going to pick their moments. A bit of a half chance earlier. And I think the pressure would have been sustained and Bellingham, drawing that foul. So let's see how it goes, folks. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to be hydrating every couple seconds. I don't have my coconut water today. I am pacing myself. England have been in this position before. And unfortunately, I predicted so far, everything I predicted happened so far. But you can't help but root for Norway if you're a neutral. Of course, if you're English, you don't want to hear that. And we'll see. As it stands, England will be facing the winner of the Switzerland-Argentina game. After this game, I'll go get ready for that. And you can take a look at the match preview on the EXTV YouTube channel. And it's available. You can scan the QR code. I'll put the link in there. So Norway working their way down the right side. Very much like they did in the first half. And there was a run made, but it wasn't taken. So Norway, you know, like I said, they can't go toe-to-toe with England, but they're very precise in their passing. Shot on goal just over the bar, folks, by Berg. Not far off. And this is what you want. This is what you want. This is when you have to take the chances. I saw a lot of teams, and it wasn't far off, folks. It wasn't far off. All the English defenders looking at each other like, hey, you should have gotten to that. And this is what a lot of teams were not doing earlier in the tournament. I felt as if, like, I saw it, I think, with Sweden and a couple other teams where they just kind of didn't do anything. But Norway, you can't say that about Norway. So will Norway pull the game back? Will it go to penalties? Nusa trying to dribble his man. I think that was, I don't know who it was, but, you know, Hurricane releasing Saka. This is where, when you chase the equalizer, this is what can happen. Saka can't take you on. I'm sure he took cutting back, Vinicius style, but well saved. Both Hurricane and, oh wow. So England stealing the ball high out the pitch. Very careless by Norway. Could this be number 3? Another great save, another rebound. Double save by the goalkeeper for Norway. From a bit of a careless giveaway from Norway, giving England a chance. They weren't really pressing until now. And, you know, if you're a Norwegian fan, you'll probably be annoyed. Maybe the fatigue is starting to get to the players. And England are starting to show, you know, how deep their squad is, where they could bring on players and manage the game. So, Saka causing some problems. And Norway causing their own problems. So, creating 2 half chances. One shot over the goal. One whipped across the goal for Norway. And once again, Saka taking on his men. And he's offside. He's offside. So Norway are going to want to move very quickly. In the past, you would see players moving very urgently. Maybe they're just emotionally more under control now. But I'm seeing a replay of the shot there. Saka getting 2 chances. Earlier, his teammates were arguing he should have cut the ball back when he beat his player, but he went for the shot. So Bellingham. Is Bellingham going to come off? He has a kind of Gabriel Jesus crybaby eyebrows right now. What a player he's been for England, folks. People in the chat. So Jude Bellingham is coming on for Dan Burn. Tall player. Very physical. I think he's coming in there to try to lock things down, watch out for crosses. And with no Haaland in there, I think they're going to be confident they can handle the aerial balls. And I think Norway are going to try to dribble through and get those goals. If they can. So chat. How is this game going to go? Who's going to come back? Is England going to see it off? Is Norway going to come back? Let's see. So England now are in their box defending, kind of like what they did against Mexico. They have that extra man bringing on some substitutions to lock things down. Can they see it out, folks? Can they see it out? England, honestly, I think now it swings in their favor with Haaland off. And with this 2-1 lead, they can kind of keep their shape. England with 5 at the back. You can see 3 centre-backs flanked by 2 wingers. And they have the 4 across with 1 player stepping up when required. And they're going to try to get that ball in. But I think with Haaland not being there, the English centre-back pairing will not be as scared as they need to be. So Norway attacking, probing. They're going to have to go for it. England are doing exactly what they did against Mexico. And they showed that they can if they need to. And it's a throw-in for... I can't see because it hasn't happened yet. Who's this throw-in for? Okay, so England get a throw-in. If you're England, that's not a convincing clearance. You're not going to like that. Norway being pushed back. England keeping that shape. So you have Harry Kane with 4 guys behind him. Occasionally 1 player stepping up on midfield to press if he needs to. But 5 at the back for England. And I think that's to neutralize the wing player of Norway. So... very tense game if you're a Norwegian fan and English. You're hoping that they can hold things out. This to me seems very familiar if you're somebody who looks at England. Out wide. Norway with a bit of a dangerous attack here. But England doing exactly the type of shape they did against Mexico, which did not allow Mexico to create much chances. So this is where it's going to be very difficult for Norway. They're not a very pacey team. Overall, they have a couple fast players, yes, but they're not a very pacey team. So they're going to have to come up with something creative. Odegaard on the ball, that's the kind of guy you'd probably want on the ball. No overloads. So England closing down the passing lanes. The ball not well cleared. Norway still in possession. Nusa taking on his man. And well blocked. I think it was Reece and Saka doubling up on Nusa. But, you know, if you're Norway, this is what you want. You're going to have to get some attacks, maybe run into the box, force maybe a foul, or at least a corner. So it's a corner for Norway. What a game, folks. What a game. 113 minutes in. Norway do have a little bit of time. Odegaard, excellent player. Years ago, he was touted as the next Messi, signed at a very young age from Real Madrid, but we know where he is now. Are there anybody in the box that could really get a header onto that box? Not a very good header. Shot by Norway. Oh, my goodness. Blasted over the bar. That could have been, with a little bit more composure, at least a shot on target. The English fans seem to be very confident they're going to see this out, but look at that. Look at that, Bob just blasting the ball over there. It should be a corner, folks. But that should have also been on target. So it actually came off an English player. I'm surprised the Norwegian players didn't complain about that. I guess they didn't see it. And that should have at least been a shot on target for Norway. At least a shot on target, forcing a save. I think even the Norwegian players did not see the ball bouncing off one of the English players. So it should have been a corner. But anyway, Norway once again in possession. They're going to have to start tuning things up, folks. They're going to have to start tuning things up. England in their defensive shape. 5-4-1. Occasionally with one player in the second defensive line coming up. And when Norway comes in, they close down the passing lane. So in-swing and cross, but there's no Haaland. And perhaps forcing a goal kick. Well done by Reece. Getting the ball to bounce off the Norwegian player to get a goal kick for England. If you're England, you're going to burn some precious time here. So Norway are going to have to really go for it now, folks. They're really going to have to go for it if they're going to go. English fans in the chat. Are they going to hold off? Norway. Are Norway going to snatch something back? Are Norway going to regret all those chances that they missed? And that's what I said, folks. You can play pretty. You could get all those chances. But if you don't score. Berg doing well. I have to say I'm impressed with Berg. Ref is taking very long to blow that whistle. Berg was fouled. But he has been very... I've been very impressed with Berg. And Norway in general. I know a lot of people talk about Haaland. But Berg has been playing exceptional in that position. Physical, getting past his players. And the number 8 for England coming on to do his job. As expected, another fall for England. And this is where probably... Do you think Haaland should have stayed on maybe a little bit longer? I mean, the guy is human. He can't run for that long. But having someone like Haaland in the box right now would have been... ideal. I mean, Harry Kane is still on. Bellingham is still on. Why not keep Haaland on? Unless there's an injury. So Odegaard. Free kick for Norway. Let's see what happens. So Odegaard. Telling his men. England, I think, have a lot of aerial... I think as at this point, England have better superior aerial ability. And... England are calling for a foul on the goalkeeper. And I think that's a little bit unfair, folks. I think that's a little bit unfair. The goalkeeper does get the benefit of the doubt. And I could understand why Norway is a bit aggrieved right now. Bailing them out in a lot of ways. Now, the referee, the goalkeeper always gets the benefit of the doubt. Let's take a look at the replay before we judge. So he ran into his own player. He ran into his own player. And Pickford is on the floor. So there was no reason for the referee to stop that. And Christopher Ayer getting a yellow card. Because I could understand why. He ran into his own teammate. So it's not like it was a foul from the Norwegian player. It was from his own player. This now allows them to get some time to chill out. Pickford trying to get into Odegaard's ears. And of course, this kills a lot of time. So Reece, James, and Pickford talking. So Pickford is injured. But I think, you know... He intelligently kind of milked the clock. I think the ref bailed them out a little bit there, folks. Folks, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that because it was an English player that knocked his player down. That's why he's angry. That's why he's angry. So 117 minutes, not a lot of time left. I don't know how much extra time it's going to be. There haven't been much stoppages. Maybe, you know, maybe about, I would say about 5 or 6 minutes, maybe. Let's see. So England, folks, I have to say I have not been overly impressed with England throughout the entire tournament, but they've been getting results. They've been getting results. So the Norwegian fans, head in hands, Some of them are cheering. No matter what, this will be a great result for Norway for getting this far and playing as well as they did. And they're going to have to go out with a fight, folks. At least go out with a fight. Through ball in. Ref is saying offside. I don't think so. Pickford is shouting for offside. My God, they talk about Brazilians, but these guys are shouting at the ref all the time. And I understand why. They want to get the result. They want to get the result. So I think with Haaland off, it does hurt. I mean, with any team, that does not look offside, folks. This is a second call that did not go Norway's way. But those rig people out there, you won't say that, won't you? Because it's not Messi. That's 2 calls. Can England see this out? Can England see this out? I think they can. I think they can. I think the way how the game is set up now, I think, look, wow, they're rolling around on the floor. And, you know, they say this is a distinctively South American thing, but you've seen it with your own eyes, folks. They do it all the time. They do it all the time. But for whatever reason, Harry Kane, yes, get up, man. Come on. I understand why you're doing it, though. And that's the thing. But don't act like you are the only, that nobody else does it except South Americans. You know, he's trying to get it there. Norway, with a bit of a giveaway. And I think, you know, I think the legs may be too much now. I think they're scrabbling to get the ball. If you're England, they're going to try to burn the clock now. And they're doing just that. Let's see how many minutes of added on time we'll get. So we're approaching the 120-minute mark. England looking like they're going to be facing the winner of the Sweden-Argentina game. Let's see what if they have a chance. I think Norway had their chances and they didn't take it. And a couple calls. So this should be a throw-in for Norway. So injury time. How much injury time? There's 2 minutes. Wow. That's not a lot of time. That's the first time I've seen that. Only 2 minutes. That's like no time. That is like no time. That's crazy. They had at least a couple stoppages. But okay, all right then. They said 2 minutes. So if you're England, you're going to be very happy. And you're going to try to burn as much time as possible, which is what they're doing right now. They have the ball by the corner flag, and now it's a throw-in for Norway. You could see the frustration on Haaland's face. Bellingham, once again, the hero for England. And, you know, Norway going to have to go for it, folks. What's happening? Why is there a stop in play? What's going on? Why is there a stop in play? Oh, it's a throw-in for England. Okay, wow. So the last couple calls not going Norway's way. And they're going to have to try to get some kind of meaningful possession to get a chance. Not clearing the ball well. And that's because England are pressuring them, forcing them into errors. Because they're chasing the ball. They want to get back into this game. So England now are going to burn as much clocks. We're now 1 minute into extra time, added on time. And this is the shortest amount of extra time I've seen in a long time. But I guess it did not have much interruptions. So England, can England see this out? Can Norway shock everyone? Less than 40 seconds on the clock, folks. This is where you probably... I think you should have kept on Haaland. I think when you took off Haaland, you lost that ability to really kind of scare the English defense. And a last attack in the end there. Nusa, that should be a handball, ref. Wow. And the ref just completely ignoring it. There's a couple handballs that I saw from the ref that were completely ignored. That was another one. He didn't even look at it. And I think England are going to see this out, folks. And that's it. That is it, folks. Although I'm a couple seconds behind, I think that's it. I think England are through. No, we're going to get our last chance. And that's it. Heartbreak for Norway. England are now through to the semifinals of the World Cup, and they will be facing the winner of the Switzerland versus Argentina game, which will be coming up in a little while. What a game, folks. What a game. What a victory. Let me stop the clock here. And I have to say, kudos to Norway. I'm reading some of the comments. So England to the semifinals. I'm backing England versus Argentina or England. So we'll see how it goes. So now we know who the winner of the Argentina-Switzerland game, who are they going to face. And England getting through to the semifinals. Congratulations to the Three Lions. Norway, a special congratulations to them. I think they played a great game. In fact, I would dare say they played the better game. And in the end, I think England doing what they do. Let's be real, folks. Let's do an analysis of this game before I go, because I have to wrap up and get ready for the Argentina game, so you all could join me for that. Norway played better. They created chances, but England does this. They may not play spectacularly well, but then Harry Kane and Jude Bellingham always rise for England. They always do. So let me pull the chat up, folks. I wasn't reading all the chats. Switzerland will face England if they played better than Argentina. Well, yeah, I guess that goes without saying. So we have that game coming up next, folks. And we had a lot of viewers in this chat tonight. And I want to say a special thank you to everybody who's joining. I will chat for a couple more minutes before I go. I will come on 15 minutes before kickoff time for the Argentina game. So be sure to check out the match preview. That's going to go up. It's up already on the YouTube channel. So for those of you who want to see that, if you can't find it, you could scan the QR code, then you will enter the WhatsApp notification group. In fact, I'm going to send it now. So when you scan that code, you go into that and you get to see the Argentina preview from SofaScore. But let's talk about the game, folks. Let's talk about the game. Norway creating more chances, but not taking them in the end. England scoring when it mattered. And Bellingham coming through for them when it mattered. And that's the reality of football, folks. That is the reality of how football works. You don't score your goals, you don't make it. And that's the reality. And England has been doing that throughout the entire tournament. So my prediction, 1-0 for Switzerland. I hope not. I hope that's not the case, because I'm an Argentina fan. But you can do your predictions. You can do your predictions. So I am going to post there for those of you who want to see the match preview from SofaScore and myself, our preview for the Argentina game. It was very difficult getting this done, but we got it done. So we have Gaston Hoffman from SofaScore, very data-driven. And once again, the EXTV predictions were correct. If you head over to extvmedia.com, you will see data-driven analysis, folks. So while we have a lot of channels that do banter and rum shop talk, we try to do a lot of, and nothing is wrong with that, by the way, just saying. That's all fun. But, we do a lot of data-driven stuff. We do analysis on a regular basis, and these watch-alongs capture more the emotion. But we do have data-driven previews. So you could head over to extvmedia.com right now when the stream is done, and you can see the match preview there, and also the breakdown and also the video on YouTube as well. So we'll put some links as well. So I'm posting it into the EXTV group. Scan that QR code. You will see it in there right now. You could take a look at that. And folks, congratulations to Norway. Unfortunately, in the end, England just getting it back in the end, and Norway making it as far as they did is a massive achievement, and they could have even knocked England out, folks. They could have even knocked it out. So Harrison Wells, hey Jude, yes. Harrison Wells doing a great job. Jude doing what he does. He has been doing it, folks, so it's set up for the winner between Switzerland and Argentina will be the next match. So, but just from a tactical point of view, England going 1-0 down in the first half, then equalizing close to the end of the second half. They tend to score late goals, folks. And then eventually going to extra time, Jude Bellingham, after a rebound from Rodgers, getting that goal, and it was enough to see off Norway in the end. Haaland and his men. What do you think about the tactics? I did say that Norway would regret not taking those chances. And in the end, we now know who's going to be facing the winner of the Argentina-Switzerland game in the next bracket. So, folks, like I said, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Before you leave, everybody who's live on the on the YouTube, Twitch, and on Facebook, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Drop your comments, because the Argentina game will be coming up very soon. Very soon, folks. So I'll be logging off in a couple minutes just to catch my breath and pace myself. Congratulations to England, the Three Lions, Terry Fennick, and you guys. They are now into the semifinals. So we now know 3 out of the 4 teams in the semifinal. And that's going to be a massive matchup. We have France and Spain on the other side. And a possible England versus Argentina or Switzerland. We don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see. Haaland looks injured. I think he may have run out of gas. That's the only way I think he would have come off. I think if he stayed on in the second half of extra time, he could have been dangerous. But you could see how Norway lost a lot when he came off. That's how powerful Haaland is. That is how powerful he is. I think so. So with that being said, folks, before I go, I want to say this has been one of the best performing streams on YouTube and on Facebook so far. And share with your friends. Like, subscribe, and follow. I will be logging off a little bit earlier. I will be leaving you all with that wonderful song from Nigel Rojas and Sun Syndicate. And get ready for the next stream that will be coming up at 8:45 Trinidad and Tobago time, where Argentina take on Switzerland. And those of you who are looking for the match preview for that game, we have the write-up and the video from SofaScore as well. So it's been very difficult to do those previews, and we'll be doing them now as we get down to the nitty-gritty end of the tournament. So with that being said, folks, be sure to like, subscribe, share, and everybody who's in here, start dropping your predictions and head over to the Argentina link on the YouTube channel and start dropping your thoughts. Start dropping your thoughts. So Switzerland, of course, I know you're going to support Switzerland, so I'm going to change into my Argentina gear and get ready, folks. It's been an absolute pleasure. Continue to support us, because when you do, you like, you follow, you subscribe, and all these things, you automatically qualify for a giveaway from EXTV, a football jersey of your choice, home and away, and a copy of EAFC 27. And we want to get to those 10,000 likes. I know that's crazy, but why not? And get people to like it, get your friends to like it, because it really helps the channel. And we do have an EXTV merch store, and you can make super chats. So, like I said, folks, thank you so much. And I will be wrapping this up a little bit earlier than usual. And I will be seeing you all for the next game. I'll be seeing you all in a moment. So enjoy the wonderful song, Champions, by Nigel Rojas and Sun Syndicate. Here you go, folks.